Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
You already know what it is, man. It's Flight Sports TV, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with Flight Sports. Listen, I got ourselves one hell of a special tonight for the people. We're going to be tapping in with basketball minds all around the world. You already know I had to bring my brother Sam Dracula through in the house. You know, you like I said, you like an honorary member of the house. We want to appreciate you for coming through. You always come around when it's big news. You know, so obviously there's going to be no exception for tonight. It's an honor to have you with us tonight, Sam. We want to definitely get your piece today. We need it. You understand? Shout out to everybody in the channel, in the chat. Everybody is active tonight. Everybody want to get insight, and you already know we about to deliver it. Listen, look, we don't want to waste too much of your time. It was a breaking news today. Hornets breaking news. You had a situation today. Scary Terry Rozier was traded. You understand? It was a mess. We must break it down. We talking about Terry headed to Miami for a future first-round pick, 2027. And Kyle Lowry. I want to discuss the ramifications of this move and future moves, you know, after this, you know, and like I said, the Hornets ain't done. And I'm going to keep it 100 with the people. I am so elated. You understand that the Charlotte Hornets have done this. And I'm ready for the trash to get cleaned. And we're not done. We about to break it down. I got my brother Sam. Sam, what's the deal? It's Flight Sports TV. It's an honor to have you. What's the deal, man? How you feeling tonight?
Listen, I don't remember this franchise feeling this alive in a long time. Like going back to last night, the win against the Timberwolves, Cat dropping 62, and the Hornets coming back from 15 in the fourth quarter to win that thing. And then this today it feels like this franchise is active, like an actual NBA franchise again. And it's been a while since I felt this way. It's like there's weird excitement about this whole thing. I don't know. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start with this? There's a lot of ways to go in.
I mean, like I said, shout out to Quiz and Uncle Vern in the house. Listen, well, let's start off with the news, man. What was your thoughts today? Happened, you know, fresh in the morning. What was your thoughts when you got the news that Terry was traded to Miami for the first round pick and Kyle Lowry? What was your initial thoughts when you got the news? How you got the news? Give us a walk down.
So how I got the news is I don't scroll Twitter. I have notifications on for Woj and Shams. That's how I use Twitter or X these days. And so yeah, got the alert. Say, oh, okay. Like I got to make a video now. So I ran downstairs, made a quick video talking about it. As I'm recording, more information kind of came in about the future picks or the pick that could become an unprotected pick in 2022 or 2028. I mean, it's a weird one because in my head, I always thought we can get 2 first-round picks for him. That was like my imaginary trade. Whatever you need to do to make the salary work. I thought Rozier is good enough to get 2 ones, even if they are protected. So to only get 1 is a bit of a bummer, but when you consider that Kyle Lowry isn't going to play for the Hornets, there's more moves to be made within that deal, as well as with the rest of the roster. So I'm just taking a wait and see approach as far as like grading the scope of the trade, because I think, like you said, more is coming. I think Woj talked about that. Rod Boone talked about that today as well. That more is on its way, but specifically losing Terry to Miami, plenty of reports that he wanted to go there. Mitch said that Rozier didn't demand a trade, but understood a guy who's approaching 30. He wants to be in a better situation. They clearly did him a solid, sending him to a place where he wanted to go. And when you think about how they acquired Rozier in the first place and then signed a trade with Kemba, like it seemed like that, like allowing Kemba to leave was a good faith move and the right move considering where his career went afterwards. Getting Rozier back in the deal, and then another seemingly good faith deal with Rozier to secure a future pick to get cap flexibility, because Terry was owed, or is, excuse me, still is owed this money. Now Miami has to pay it, right? 24 or 25 million next year, and then 27 the year after that when he's 31 years old. So the Hornets aren't on the hook for that anymore. And now they have Brandon Miller and Lamelo in the backcourt. So they don't really need to pay Terry all that money for a guy who really should be a sixth man. So moving Rozier was the right move to make. I think that was the best asset to move, the most likely asset to move given the state of things, and just to look towards the future and financial flexibility, cap flexibility, and just future assets. So I'm really curious to see what happens next. But I think it's something that the Heat, if there's any Heat fans in here, y'all won the trade by far, right? Miami is getting a killer. Like I love Terry Rozier. I got my Rozier jersey right here with me. He's a man. The Hornets are gonna really miss like his presence, his competitive fire. I don't know. They don't have a lot of guys that can replicate that. They have guys that can replicate his shooting, his scoring on a night. Not on an every night basis, but guys that can step up, get some points here and there. But they don't have a lot of guys that can match his intensity. So that's going to be interesting how that plays out the rest of this season. But short answer, long answer short. It's a good move for the Hornets and a great move for the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. Like I said, it's all about what the Hornets are going to do with this pick. I think this is going to be drastic. I think that's all you can see because Kyle Lowry is not going to suit up. And you heard some issues before. I think if it was about a few hours ago, they said that they're going to hold on to him. Now I'm hearing, I don't know if you heard this, that they're going to keep him away from the team until they work out a trade. Did you hear that news?
No, but it makes sense. Like, there's no point in even like fly. Whatever, I don't know where he stays, where he lives, but there's no point in pretending he's be part of the franchise. Like, I think they're making abundantly clear that Lowry, we're gonna find a new place for you. If we can't, we'll buy you out because he's not gonna. He has no business playing for this team.
Right. Before we get some other minds in here, I wanna speak to you. We talked about who's gonna be a part of the Hornets. And I want to get your thoughts because maybe it's different from mine. Me personally, I believe a lot more people has to go. Me personally, I want a full house cleaning. And that we're worried about how the debt and the stuff stacks up. The Hornets started off the season horrendous. Yes, Melo got hurt, but still, this team should have never been this bad. I feel like a price has to be paid. I feel like some of these people, there's got to be some casualties to this. You understand? You cannot come out with a season like this after expectations was up. If this was in New York City, this would have been all over everything. If this was in LA, it would have been it's in Charlotte, so it's sweeping under the radar. But there is a true crisis going on, and they have to clean house. I'm a firm believer. I want PJ gone. I want Miles gone. I want a lot of these people out the door. Maybe you don't share these same beliefs. Who the hell should be a part of the Hornets? We all know Melo, Miller, and Williams are the focal points. That's the only untouchables. But then from there, I believe it need to be more casualties and some bigger names that need to go because this is unacceptable. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like the idea, like in sports, when you're building a team, you want to keep a core together because you want it to like grow and like gain chemistry and repetitions and all that stuff. And when you look at the core of this team since 2020, right? We're looking at Hayward, Rozier, PJ, Miles, Cody Martin, Nick Richards, LaMelo Ball. I think that's it. Yeah, that group. Okay, since 2020. That's 4 years of this. We know this team has not gotten better in that stretch. There's no reason to keep this core together. So Rozier, the first one out the door, I think he had the most value out of anybody else, mainly because he's not a rental, right? Bridges is a really good basketball player, but he has a 1-year deal. It's gonna be hard. Like, what are you gonna give up for a guy who may not be on your team next year? Rozier's committed for multiple years, and he's been playing pretty well. So I looked at him as the guy that had to be out the door first. Bridges is a little tougher because he has the no trade clause, but I wouldn't have brought him back in the first place. So I would not mind him leaving. But guys like PJ get it. I don't know. It may be to the point now where he can be traded. PJ, there's like some weird thing with the extension until he's eligible to be traded. Maybe a couple days, if not already. PJ heading out the door wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I'm all for retooling because there's no reason to keep this together. I feel good about Lamelo, although the injury issues are an issue, right? Brandon Miller, I like Nick Smith Jr. Mark Williams is looking like a guy who may have some injury issues on his own. He's missed 20 games this year with a back injury, 7-footers with back injuries. That's a bit tough, but it's a second year in the league. I'm willing to give him some time to figure that out before we set him out the door, right? But that's really it. Like guys like JT Thor, he has a team option for $2 million next year. You can wait to make a decision on him, right? McGowan's, we'll see. But the big ones, Hayward, expiring contract, he'll probably be a buyout guy, right? I wouldn't mind. You can get something for PJ, you can get something for Miles. Cody Martin, he has no trade value because injury, he's just so injury prone. It's insane. He has a skill set to contribute in a rotation, but he can't stay on the floor. And so your value is absolutely tanked, right? Nick Richards, he's a backup center. Maybe if someone has a catastrophic injury in the front court, maybe the team wants to fortify it, flipping Nick for something else. I'm here for that. But I'm with you, man. There's no need to continue to roll this roster over into the next year because it's not good. The construction of the team isn't well balanced, and the individual players are fine, but it doesn't work as a team, and they got to figure that out. They're at the salary cap now. Imagine having no cap room and being a 10-win team at the end of January. That's where we are. And moving Rozier helps with that for the future, right? Who knows where they can contribute that salary cap contribution to if they want to give that to Bridges or somebody else. But at least there's now some flexibility moving forward. And if they continue to move people out, then we won't be as locked in when Lamelo's extension kicks in next year, right? So this team is too bad to be this financially handcuffed, right? So they gotta not blow it up seems a little too strong, but pretty much blow it up because there's not a lot worth keeping when you're looking at the long-term growth of the team. Because you have to look long-term because they're not going to get the free agents to come here to get that microwave team, that microwave super team. That's never going to happen, right? You need multiple cracks at it through the draft and through smart trades to build this thing up. Look at OKC. How do they do it? They got rid of their guys and they acquired all these draft picks and they hit on most of them. And the ones they hit on, they really hit on. And now look where they are. That should be the hope for the Hornets to do 80% of what OKC's been able to pull off the last few years.
Right, absolutely. Listen, I got my bro Quiz in the building. Queens, New York is in the house. Quiz, man, we got our special guest in the house, Sam Dracula. Listen, we had breaking Hornets news today. If you just joining us, we had a big time trade. Scary Terry Rozier is headed to Miami to the Heat culture for a 2027 first round pick and Kyle Lowry. So Quiz, give us your thoughts and give us some insight on what my man Sam is discussing today.
First off, this is a big move, and I'm very happy to hear it. I love listening to Sam's assessment and insight into this trade. I thought that he did a phenomenal job, and I know you guys are a hardcore, dedicated Charlotte Hornets fans, so it's good to hear about all of the different things. For myself, first off, I think that the trade was great for the Miami Heat. But I also think it was great for the Charlotte Hornets. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. I know Sam wanted to get 2 draft picks for Terry Rozier, and that may be kind of a bummer. But let me share this with you. I actually think that getting the draft pick that they got was great. Plus, you get Kyle Lowry, who is an asset. Like you said, it allows you to create flexibility because we all know Kyle Lowry is not really playing over there. They have no need for Kyle Lowry at all. So sometimes you have to play addition by subtraction. And if you've heard me on Flight Sports before, I have always said the two biggest things with the Hornets are this Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward move around. We've known for a couple of years that those guys are not part of the future, especially when you're building a young team. Other than the specifics of whatever's going on with Miles Bridges, I think he's definitely somebody you guys probably want to consider keeping. I'm not as down on him. I understand that Hornets Nation may be a little concerned about the money that he's absorbing or whatever, but I think that Miles Bridges has actually shown that he can actually really play. And him, Lamelo Ball, Brandon Miller, PJ Washington, like Sam said, I think that he could go. I've actually looked at PJ play. I don't think that PJ is really I don't think that he has a super high ceiling anyway. I like both your centers. I like the Mark Williams. I like the Nick Richards. If you eventually move to moving those guys out. But the biggest issue, I think, for the success of the Charlotte Hornets, even though I know Hornets Nation is super deep in and you guys get into the coaching and stuff like that. But let's be real. These guys have not been healthy. These guys haven't been able to play together. Whether it was Miles Bridges off the court issues, LaMelo's ankles, and stuff like that. That's the biggest thing. These guys have been able to play competitive when they've actually been able to be on the court. However, for a young team, like Sam pointed out, for 4 years, obviously this thing isn't really working out. So you got to move somewhere to get better. And I think that the Hornets are poising themselves to, like you said, Flight, make even more moves. So having Kyle Lowry there, now you guys can maybe package something up to get Kyle Lowry moved around. Maybe package something up to get Gordon Hayward out there, out of the way or whatever. Because right now the future is here. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. All right. Mark Williams, whenever he gets healthy enough to really be a contributing factor. I haven't been paying attention super closely, but it seems like he hasn't been playing in a while. So hopefully you guys get him back. But Nick Richards is able to play. And in the meantime, while you have this rental with Miles Bridges, see what you guys actually want to do with him. Miles Bridges has actually been playing really good basketball. Brad Miller, if you've looked at him, Brandon Miller, if you've looked at him the past 3 games where he's actually been able to get these minutes, he's looking really good. Am I right or wrong? He's looking really good. And Melo. And I think that those are the players that you probably want to build around, if anything. Everything else on this squad can go. Like you said, they're not getting better. This isn't a playoff team right now. But the reason why this is such a great deal is because it sets the stage for you guys to actually be something. You guys to actually be an up-and-coming team next year. You get rid of these pieces, bring young pieces, get some more draft picks for some of these pieces you have. Some of these pieces have value, and I think that you guys are moving in the right direction. So I still grade it A+ for the Hornets because they're moving in the direction that they need to move. And now they have the assets to continue doing these things to get better. And that's just my perspective, not as a hardcore Hornets fan, but just as a basketball fan. I think it's a great move for that organization.
Right. Good call, Quiz. What you think about that, sir?
Well, I was just nodding my head because I agree with pretty much everything you said. I just want to add one thing to what you're mentioning about with Hayward and Rozier. These guys, with the exception of Ish Smith, but because he's been here twice now, but whatever. Speaking of the last 4 years, we've been hearing from Kupchak saying this team needs more veteran leadership, or we need someone to step up and be a leader. Like, hello, Gordon. Hello, Terry. Like, what's going on? Like, you're the leaders, right? You're the vets on the team. You guys have been in playoffs. Why has there been a consistent need for leadership with 2 veterans on the team, like 2 major veterans on the team? And that was something that always struck me as odd. But I wanted to. Oh man, wait 1 second. You was damn it, I should wrote it down. It's late for me. All right. What was it? You said something about Hayward and sorry, I got it. So yeah, so like going back to the construction of the team, yeah, they've been hit with injuries, but Kupchak really failed to prepare for a plan B. There was no plan B for this team. When you look at, they brought in Ish Smith as a replacement for Frank Ntilikina and Edmund Sumner. Like, that was the plan for Lamelo coming off 3 major ankle injuries. The plan for Gordon Hayward was for potentially a rookie to step in for him if and whenever he went out, right? Or Cody Martin, who missed 11 months. Like, there was no real plan for them. And this kind of allows them to have a plan B now with more flexibility, like you mentioned. also, I wanted to say that oh man, there was okay. Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on, I gotta look at the roster real quick.
You'll
Oh
get
no,
it.
no,
You'll
no,
get
no,
it.
no.
The centers,
Was it the centers? No.
PJ
I got it.
Washington,
Brandon Miller. Okay.
Brandon
So
Miller.
Terry missed some time early in the year as well. And we saw Rozier as a starter, like how he was being used early in the year, right? With all the basically 6 minutes done in the first quarter, Rozier would be the only starter left out there. And then bring in the entire second unit, right? And Rozier was the man to just continue that continuity. That was Clifford's plan. When Terry got hurt, Brandon Miller was starting at the shooting guard, right? And then Brandon Miller was trusted to be that starter to stay out there with that second unit. We saw from early that this is how at least Clifford wanted to use Brandon Miller as literally the replacement for Terry Rozier, not as a small forward, but as a shooting guard next to Lamelo Ball, right? And so we just now, whatever, like now that we're end of January, we're seeing the fulfillment of that literally with Rozier out and Miller now should be the starting shooting guard the rest of the season. Sorry, that's tell you what I it popped in my head. I should have wrote it down, but sorry.
We got my man Sky from the NO in the house. Sky, what's the deal, man? We have breaking news today. We got our special guest in the house, Sam. Sky, man, he has always a difference in opinion. I just want to let you know, Sam. Sky, what's the deal, man? It's Flight Sports.
No, I have a question for Sam. Sam,
okay.
Give me one thing they do good.
Who?
The Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets? They don't do much good, bro. They don't play defense.
That's
They're
what I'm
pretty bad
saying.
at scoring as a squad. This team's bad. It's a bad
that's
team.
what I'm trying to tell you. So you're looking at like a 3 to 4 year window before they even good. Before they even contenders. Everybody making moves but the Hornets. I'm seeing improvement with them. Like, even if you go to the Pacers, right? I see some growth in the Pacers. Like, when you look at the Hornets, you don't see nothing. Like, nothing.
So I would say that, like, the Pacers are a good example. Same with the Kings. Like, both those franchises got really honest with themselves a couple years ago and made a major deal, right? Swapping Sabonis and Halliburton. And they got better. And then one became a playoff team last year. Another team will be a playoff team this year, right? And then went out and made an even bigger move in bringing in Siakam, right? So Rozier isn't on the level of Sabonis and Halliburton, but as far as just on the scale of shaking it up, instead of like continuing the norm that has been pretty bad, this is a step. It's a step in the right direction. We don't know where the final destination will be. We know if they did nothing, the team would be bad. At least now they did something. They weren't making the playoffs with Terry, right? So might as well move them on and retool and hope for the best next year, because like that's the only hope for this franchise to have. They're doing all these renovations to the building. That was announced, I think, 2 Fridays ago. Now the new owners are finally getting involved after they took over at the draft. They haven't done anything since. So the last 3 weeks or so, since the 2024, really, these new owners for the Hornets have really showed up to do stuff. And we've been waiting for them to do stuff. And now it seems to be a trickle effect. More to come, hopefully. Knock on wood.
But the point I'm getting at is you ain't answered none of that. What I asked you was, what do they do good? Like you say, they don't do nothing, right? I don't see, even with the move they made, like they're going to be good next year or the year after. Like, where they got, what building piece, a building block they have that you could say, well, okay, we do this good, so this is what we got to look for. Rim protection. Like, all right, let's look for a center that could score. Like, what do they do good? Like, at this point, and look, Melo need to be asking for a trade, and they need to just build from ground up. I'm just being honest. They don't have nothing to start from. What's the building block?
Well, the building block is Brandon Miller and Lamelo Ball, and whenever Mark Williams decides to get healthy, that's the core. That's the new core of the team.
And like you said, Sky gonna take at least 3 to 4 years to get that going. Melo might have a championship by the year 7, like the rest of the All-Stars and pros do. Like the Michael Jordans and the Giannis's of the world. It only makes sense, right, fool? When they start getting to doing good and going in the right direction, like they doing. I'm sorry. You didn't announce me. Let me stop right now.
Go ahead, Uncle Vern. Go ahead. You cooking?
Shout out Uncle Vern in the house. We got my man Sam in the house with us, man.
What up, Sam? Hey, hi, thank you, Spike. Hey, what up, Sam? Welcome back again.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Hey, last time I think we talked, we was talking about that subject you just got through saying about, Mitch Kupchak said more about saying we gonna get more veteran leaderships up in here, and we're gonna go big. And that's what he was saying. They were gonna go big in the draft. They would got to do with the Braves and stuff like that. The 6'9" center that was supposed to change the whole thing, and he got gone the next year after that. Boy, I'm telling you, Sam, you was right. Look. Hey, Sam, I was the fool that was keep on talking about bringing Lonzo over there with his brother. You probably remember me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you see how that worked out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, I'm telling you, Sam. I don't know what else to tell you. But like Skyler was saying, they've been in the dumps for a long time, and they got that boy, and thank you, the higher power. The most whoever came up with the decision to get rid of him or came with the opportunity to get rid of him, because they've been trying to get rid of Terry for the past year after they signed him. Remember, because they said it was too big of a contract and he wasn't giving it all to it. So yeah, they've been trying to get rid of him for the last 3 to 4 years, even before Melo got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not unusual. It's just they found a way. They took them this long to find a way. It seemed like Michael Jordan wasn't trying hard enough, and not only just Terry Rozier, the other big elephant that we got in the room, the big white elephant, balls that we got, and that's Gordon Hayward. I bet you they don't get rid of him so easy.
Yeah, I think Hayward's gonna be a buyout just because the injuries. Like, who's gonna trade? I think he's gonna buy him out.
You think Hayward is next?
I hate that too.
I don't know what they could do in a trade, because like moving him and because they both have a similar cap number, so finding deals for both of them is gonna be hard, right? Unless they're willing to take on more money for next year and then receive a pick. Like, that's the OKC method, right? They just accept all these bad contracts, and for their efforts they received a bunch of first round picks.
Right.
I don't think we're gonna be doing that, but yeah, I think Hayward gets bought out, and then maybe they find a spot for Lowry.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, I got my man Coffee to the World in the building. We had breaking news today. I got my man Sam Dracula in the house, our special guest for the evening. We had a big time trade today. Scary Terry headed to Miami for a future first round pick and Kyle Lowry. Coffee to the World, what's your thoughts? Give us some, and definitely welcome my man Sam. Give us some questions. It's Flight Sports.
What's going on, Coffee?
What's up, Uncle Vern? Shout out to Flight Sports TV. Happy New Year's, everybody. Brother Sam Dracula, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing?
What you think about this? Y'all know I'm about to go with it.
Yeah.
I think they got the brother Kyle, and that was a good trade for Miami. And it was also a good dealing point for Charlotte. I think they're going to deal Kyle to Chicago Bulls and get Alonzo Ball, and then they're going to bring Jello up in there.
Yeah,
they talking about the conversation right now with the Bulls, talking about trading off Alonzo Ball, and Alonzo's getting healthy. He's actually healthy. Right. You know, a lot of things people don't know what's going on, but I think they about to bring him over there to Charlotte, and then they're gonna grab on to Jello. I think that's really about to go down. What you think, Sam?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like Lonzo, the basketball player, I'm all in for. I think he's awesome. The health is a concern, but obviously, you know, if you're moving Lowry, who's not going to play, right? You're gonna bring in an asset in Lonzo. It's like a lottery ticket, right? I don't know what his contract situation is like. Does anyone know off?
I think this Lonzo's last year going in. He had one more year, but I think the Bulls, you know, they want to keep him, but I don't think Lonzo don't want to be there, and I can't blame him. He want to be with his brother. And Clutch Sports is sending a notice to the Bulls for a conversation. So I think they trying to get into talks with Charlotte. I think they already had the talks already. I think that was part of the deal with Kyle Lowry coming over there, because the Bulls want a more stable point guard if Lonzo not going to be there. And so I really think Lonzo about to head to the Charlotte Hornets. A lot of people don't see it. It's going to be blindsided, but I think that's really what's about to happen. And then Jello's coming in.
Hey. I see Lonzo can opt out in the summer. So that, yeah, he has leverage there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Sam, let me ask you this. Look here, okay, like right there with what like Coffee was just saying about Lonzo. Okay, this ain't the first time you heard that. The first time you heard that, you didn't think that was a good idea. What was your thought of that? Was that a good idea then, as far as Charlotte making that move? Or what was your thought about that then? Because you heard that when Lonzo even was going, you know what I'm saying, before he went to the Bulls.
No, I think I'm a fan of Lonzo. Like, I just don't. My thing is his injuries, right? Like, that's my only concern.
Now, what I'm saying is, do you have that same feeling about Lonzo and Charlotte now that you had then?
Yeah, it's the same feeling. Like, really good player, but injury issues. And honestly, given the state of the injuries that we're dealing with now, it's like, all right, we're gonna add another one into the mix. That's my concern. I
see where you're going.
You know, like it's not anything personal against what he brings to the court.
Yeah, I ain't trying to sweat you, put your point and nothing like that. I just want to see your.
And we don't have the best, medical team here either. So it's just a bit like, what's going on? Like, people were like, oh, before like Porzingis got traded to the Celtics, people in my chat were like, yo, let's go get KP. I'm like, he'd fall apart into a million pieces if he came here. Like, guys like Brandon Miller, like he said he never had ankle issues before he got to Charlotte. And then all of a sudden he's had like 2 ankle injuries.
Yeah.
I think there's another guy was another, like, I think Jalen McDaniels back in the day said a very similar thing, but he didn't have no ankle issues before he got here. So something's going on. I don't know what it is, but maybe that needs to be addressed by the new owners too. Before.
How you think Miller chances will get that rookie of the year might carry it out? I know what's today about that with San Antonio doing his job, but I'm just saying. How you think? Because like you have been mentioned too, you were saying since Rozier, that's another good thing about Rozier being gone. They can put Miller in that spot where he need to be at anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Chet Holmgren has that locked up. As rookie of the year locked up.
Yeah.
For good reason. Plus, that OKC team is really good.
Think he got it over over Wembanyama?
Yeah, I just agree with Sam.
Definitely.
I don't think it's locked up.
I gotta disagree. Sam, because
I think he had it. I think he had it locked up at first. Sorry, Coffee. I'm sorry.
No.
I think he had it locked. I think Chet had it locked up earlier, but I think that it's a lot closer now. And the difference is, remember that Chet is on a really, really good team that is actually played good without him, but they're playing better with him. Of course, that's going to really be the difference because right now Wemby is out of this world. It's not even comparable if you look at the last like week or two. Go ahead, Coffee.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Quiz. I will have to disagree with you, Sam. I think it's going to come down to what the NBA want, who they want to push forward in advertising. When you saw Embiid score 70-some points last night, I think Wemby had about 36, 38, something like that. And so it's always about that round table, Las Vegas, the money, this, that, and other, who the NBA want to showcase and who they want to be the face of the league. And there's too much money behind it. When you see what the NBA doing, they're going up and down. 1 week is Wemby, 2 weeks is Chat, and then again it's Wemby, and then it's Chat. They're going back and forth. At the end, don't be surprised if they give them both like they did before. Both of them, the rookie of the year. But I don't think they're going to go away from Wemby like that. They put too much time invested, too much marketing behind that.
I agree with that, Coffee.
Yeah, I think Wemby's going to get it, guys. I mean, if you take a look at these guys side by side right now. Shit ain't even fucking part of me.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't even close. If you're looking at these guys, like I look at these guys' numbers on a nightly basis, like Chet ain't messing with Wemby right now.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. I agree.
Wemby's on a different level. I mean, what does Wemby do better than? What does Chet do better than Wemby? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And you got a 7'4" dude, 7'5" dude putting on the floor, twisting and turning and shooting threes and going to in between and pick and pop and doing everything. So
yeah, he's doing stuff that we ain't never seen before, Coffee. And you're right. I think that it's a matter of, I think that you're right about the marketability aspect also. Like Wemby right now is, I mean, the game he's had a dominant performance against KD and Booker. He's had a head-to-head battle with Giannis. He put up over 30 in the game they just played against the Sixers. I mean, Wemby's really getting busy out there. I can't even cap.
So who you got in the rookie of the year race so far, Sam, before we get back to the Hornets talk?
I mean, I'm back in chat. It's the winning, bro. Like, I go back to the winning. I think the voters going to respect the record over the numbers for a really bad San Antonio team. That's why I think he's going to win it. Wembanyama is awesome. Like, I'm not down on him. And unfortunately, Brandon Miller is not in the mix at all this year. That was the original question I just wanted to address. Yeah. Unfortunately, Miller's not going to be in that question. But him, Hawkes Jr., all them, I think will all be first thing. Be nice to see.
Right. I want to welcome the guest with us, the Tribal Chief Bartrand in the house. Shout out Tribe Sports Media. Y'all better go subscribe. You already know what it is. We had breaking news today. I repeat, Terry Rozier is headed to South Beach, for a first-round pick, and Kyle Lowry. That is the return package for the Charlotte Hornets. Chief, we got our special guest, Sam Dracula, in the house. What's your thoughts on this trade, and do you have any questions for our special guest, Sam? It's Flight Sports.
Peace. Hope everyone can hear me. Peace and grand rising to the tribe. Peace to you, Sam. First time we've been together. I pass through your content sometimes, and everything. So, it's long overdue. Honestly, that's how I see it, and I'm just coming in, so I don't know where the energy of the conversation is flowing. So I'm just going to go off of just, we did a stream earlier about it. I think the Hornets did Terry a solid, sent him home. He's right. I mean, they could have orchestrated him going anywhere, but they sent him where he's already home. More than likely, his family's already there. So for the time that he put in as, in essence, a bridge from Kemba to Lamelo, I think that this was a good send-off for Terry Rozier. I think it was. And so I wish Terry well in Miami. They could use his skill down there. And now the ball era has begun in Charlotte. It is what it is. So I wanted, and I was pushing this all over social media, I wanted them to kind of get a little bit more. I would have liked for them to try to see if they could grab Jovic in that deal to bring him back. 6'10", skilled, big, with range, who would have fit nicely with the Hornets. But at this point, to clear salary and to set up, in my opinion, the new GM coming in with money and the pick, I think any talk of a play-in, I think that should be over with, even though there may be an attempt to try. I think that this is just about sorting out who should be left, arrange for a pick, make the games entertaining, just keep us entertained until next year, get a top pick, get some money, along with a new GM and hopefully a turnover of the staff. Then next year, we can really, the new owners can put a stamp on this and everything. So that's why I thought it was time for them to go. At least they got a pick that could turn to something in a few years. So, and Terry got a good deal, and Mitch said he's not finished. So we'll see what else happens. There's more work to be done. That's how I see it. I don't have any questions.
Right. What you think about what he says, sir?
I agree.
Echo on the sentiments.
No, legit. Those are my thoughts exactly.
I want to add something too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but because he had brought up something and we spoke on it here. A lot of people are moving ahead. We fast forward and like the chief just said, the new GM. Right now they got a GM. We already we moving on to the new front office. Do you believe it's going to be a new front office as well? What's your thoughts?
It has to be, right? It has to be. You buy a team and you don't get your guys in the front office. That'd be really weird. That'd be really weird. I get why it hasn't happened yet, because the transition happened like the week of the draft. So I also just suspect that they don't want to fire Kupchak. I think they just want him to retire on his own, retire at the end of the season, and then decline Clifford's team option and just start clean in the summer with the cap space, with the future draft picks, with your young core in place. Then you could say that also helps, by the way, this type of thing helps a potential GM coming in. It makes the job more attractive, right? If you ask a GM to come into a hard cap team, it's gonna be really hard to sell it. You're gonna have to pay up a lot to get the guy to come here. That is really good at his job. So the Hornets GM job, I think, is more attractive now with this Rozier deal, and will continue to get more attractive if they continue to get off the long-term money commitments and acquire more draft picks. And then whenever the new GM comes in, I think that's when we'll see the coaching staff change. I'd be shocked if it goes the other way. So to that end, I think Clifford finishes out the year. Same with Kupchak, and then in the summer we just get, new boys from that point on.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Sam. Why you think Mitch might finish out the year when it's known in history, they'll get rid of you in the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, with 2 weeks left in the season. It's already been shown, it's already been driven, and it's come down to what Melo Ball want. You can't satisfy Melo in this instant gratification right now. It's got to be like right now, never, because Melo is healthy. He wants his brothers. He let it be known. Charlie dropped the ball a couple of times already, and the clock is ticking. They ain't really caring about no feelings of no Mitch Kupchak. You know what I'm saying? It's about Melo Ball, and he want Alonzo. I think they're going to get rid of Kyle and get Alonzo and bring Jello up in there. What you think, Sam?
I just think it's just a respect thing for Kupchak. If you fire him now, unless they know who the guy is that they want to bring in right now, then you do it. But I just don't know. I don't know. I just think these owners, until we know otherwise, have been really slow and passive.
Yeah, they show they don't give a fuck about no respect. That respect don't mean nothing no more. So it comes down to your feelings hurt. Your feelings are hurt. Mitch been there a while, and Charlotte been on a decline, on descending, and that's not a good situation. And Melo's getting perturbed about it. So you got to keep Melo happy. So if they want Mitch up out of there, he got to go up there out of there ASAP. So they don't care about no feelings. I don't think they're gonna hold on to him for the end of the year. If it come down to Melo saying, "Look, I get my brothers up in here," and that's what it is.
Well, maybe he'll step down.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think shout out to he'll announce this is me. I'm out, and then you guys.
Yeah, you can step down. However you want to do it. You want to make it look smooth. You want to make it look real classy. Just that step down and resign. But I don't think it's gonna be at the end of the year, especially if Melo puts that pressure on him.
Hold on. Shout out to Flight Sports. This is Big Al. Thanks. Thanks for letting me up, Flight. And what's going on, Sam Dracula?
Hey,
I think you off base, bro. Because Mitch, because of his, because I don't know if you guys. I think me and Sam Dracula are the only Hornets fans on this panel, by the way. But anyway,
get your ass out of here, Al. Come on, man. You know who you talking to? You better know who this is. Come on, now. Get your shit right.
Who is it?
It's Coffee, dog.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, okay. Come on now. Let's get
all right, so
the chief also.
Okay, so we got 3 Hornets fans. All right.
We got the trial. Wait a minute. We got the trial.
No. I'm a Melo Ball fan. I'm a Melo Ball fan. So he played with the Hornets.
Well, you got a Hornets fan.
So I'm down with the Hornets. Hell yeah. When Melo go, if Melo go to the goddamn New York Knicks. I'm a New York Knicks fan instant overnight. You know what I'm saying?
I don't count you then. That's the point.
Yeah,
I don't count you.
But no, you ain't got to count.
I was right the first time.
No,
hold on. Let me ask the question.
Let's give it that because we gotta go. We gotta go to it.
Yeah, I want to ask him a question. Like that's all I'm saying. Can I ask? So Sam Dracula. So, what's your take on what he said about Mitch? Because Mitch, at the end of the day, he's done a good, okay job, a decent job with these draft picks. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. This team it would not be where it is if it wasn't for Mitch. Because if Michael Jordan had his way, But anyway, so Mitch has did a decent job. The only thing he's fallen short on is these damn off-season moves that he's supposed to make. That's the only thing. But at the end of the day, Mitch has done a decent job with the draft picks. And as far as this decline, it's the coaching and the damn injuries. That's how I look at it. I'm not saying the players aren't the best because we got a terrible bench. But at the end of the day, it's the coaching and the injuries because LaMelo's solid. He's one of the best in the league. Brandon, he's solid. He's one of the best rookies. So I mean, and Miles Bridges before he went crazy. I don't know what he was doing good. So I mean, and Mark Williams when he's on the court, he's a piece. He's an intricate piece. So Mitch has made okay moves. So I almost feel like Mitch, when the time is up with this team, they might do him a solid and give him some kind of higher office position and then get a younger GM or something on him. I don't know, but I don't know because I think Sam is on to something. It's a respect thing with Mitch.
And
what you think?
Yeah, and he already has a relationship with one of the owners already, right? Because he was a minority owner of the team before MJ sold his part, right?
Let's be honest, Sam. We've said on this panel several times, this team is sort of cheap. So I don't know if they're going to really push to get a young GM to make that, because because a young GM or a really big GM,
Yeah.
because a really big GM is going to ask for a lot of money.
Well, you can't necessarily say they're cheap if they got new ownership, so you can't say that right now.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
What you think about that, son?
No, I mean, so my whole thing is just pure speculation, right? Based on the owners saying they're going to be patient when they bought the team, right? And they bought the team in the summer, and now we're in January where they're finally doing something. They announced the changes to the arena, and they did this trade, right? So now they're finally like showing up. They have something on the resume now. When you can look at since the takeover happened, things that have happened have all happened within the last like 2 weeks. So it's just the beginning, and I think it ends with a full new coaching staff and a new front office. It just makes sense when you buy a team. Why keep the people that were there unless you're a perennial powerhouse? There's no reason to keep the same guys involved, and I think it lines up perfectly with Clifford's team option and Kupchak signed just basically. I think just going like multi-year to multi-year, just like on a handshake type thing. And now with MJ gone, that was his guy. So it just seems like that this is it for this regime. And they're creating some cap space. They're collecting draft capital just to set it up for next year for the next person. And to your point, like Kupchak could do another role in the organization. Like he's a good basketball mind to keep around. Honestly, same thing with Clifford. Keeping him on as a consultant or something like that would be a good idea. That's what he was doing in Brooklyn before he came here. He knows ball, right? He's well respected within the league, but he was a temporary hire 2 years ago. And when you don't have a long-term hire with a young team, it's a very lame duck situation, right? He wasn't even involved in the first round of interviews before Kenny Atkinson pulled out on us. So this summer, the 24 summer, I think we're going to finally see, hopefully, what these owners are about. And I'm hopeful. I'm being hopeful here. That's me being hopeful.
Right. Well, we're gonna definitely be hopeful. Listen, we joined by my man All Access Dex in the building. Listen, Dex, we have breaking news today. We got our special guest Sam Dracula in the house with us. What's your thoughts on this big time news? We got Terry headed to Miami for a future first, and Kyle Lowry. What's the deal?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting that they broke ties with Terry Rozier in a sudden way, but we kind of seen the fall off with Terry Rozier and even some of his association with Lamelo Ball to some extent, and war of words of subtlety was being spoken in various interviews. But I just want to bring to Sam, our brother Sam, attention. Do you think we know that Kyle Lowry does not bring the production of Terry Rozier by far, right? And there's a big gap in that expectation. So do you think Kyle Lowry actually grace a Charlotte Hornets uniform or be bought out in the buyout market?
I don't think he steps foot in North Carolina. I don't think he steps foot in the state, man. He does not play for the Hornets. Either he's traded or he's bought out. I'd be so shocked if he plays for the Hornets. It's not gonna happen.
That's a good call right there, man. This is, like I said, this is a wild situation. I think Kyle Lowry's headed to Los Angeles or something like that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Clearly the move, I got a report from Woj today that it's not over.
Right.
The Hornets are looking to do other things. Clearly we don't know what that is. It was a report today. It said the Hornets aren't done dealing yet and plan to continue accumulating future assets ahead of the February 8th trade deadline. So we could hear another move later on tonight, tomorrow, the day after. If you could put a finger point on anything, who's next? Give me two guys that's out the door. Something telling me upstairs that PJ or Miles, one of them is out the door. Now, I don't know who the hell's going, but I got a feeling upstairs that one of them will not survive February 8th. And I hope both of them is out the door, but something's telling me one is out. But if you could just finger point, what's the next move? Because there's reports that they're not done. What's next?
I think it's PJ. I think it's PJ between the two of them. Just because that's the beauty of the extension he signed. Plus, I think his contract de-escalates over time. Like it gets lower. Right, it's 16 this year, 15 next year, and 14 the year after. PJ Washington is super tradable. Like if he's not, if you're trading for him, he's not going to start for you, but he's going to fit into your rotation, and he's going to be pretty economical. So PJ is the most tradable piece. Miles Bridges is better than him, but he has that 1-year deal and the no trade clause, so it just makes it more complicated, right? But I think you're onto something, because look at the guys that are on the books going into next year, right, for the Hornets, and it's Cody Martin who's injured, right? It's Nick Richards who can help out a rotation for a good team. But I think PJ and Bridges, like you mentioned, are the top two, with like Nick Richards being third in that mix of the guys that I think could be traded, because Cody Martin's just too hurt all the time. Hayward, I think, is gonna be too expensive. Plus, he's hurt all the time. I think he's gonna be a buyout guy. But I agree with you.
Right. Dex, what you think about that? Who you think could be on the way out the door next for the Hornets? The reports are saying that they're not done. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm in congruent with Brother Sam, because he pointed out how PJ Washington is already signed, so it will not be a harass of trying to get him re-signed or deflate his contract or his worth. Whereas Miles Bridges, things are still up in the air and very negotiable of his value and worth on the hardwood. So either PJ Washington or Nick Richards should be probably the next one out. I think it's going to be very difficult to move Gordon Hayward right now. It might just allow him to just fall off the books, or pick where he wants to go out of of a solid for him even coming down to Charlotte in 2020.
I totally agree with that. Like I said, I'm gonna ask you another question, Sam. You see what's going on with Minnesota? Up there, upper echelons right now out west. Even though we took them down.
Yeah, we did, right?
We're gonna break that down.
Oh man, that was like the best win I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I thought they were gonna lose. The Hornets actually finally got over the hump and took over. So I mean, you gotta thank for that. But like I said, I just got thrown off. You just threw me off of where I was headed. What was I just saying before you
Minnesota
about the win in Minnesota?
Yeah. So back, I got it now. So back what I was saying, you see what's going on with Minnesota upper echelon, right? They just traded for Pascal Siakam. I'm just thinking from a Melo perspective. Yeah, we could say, oh, it's beautiful, they doing something, but I'm watching these other teams tooling up, gearing up, and the Hornets just breaking apart. New ownership, new coach, a lot of uncertainty. We could very well watch Minnesota go to the conference finals. I don't believe it's going to happen, but it could very well happen. We could very well see a Tyrese Herculean run in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen either, but I'm just throwing that out there. But what's up with Melo? I mean, what point of these little moves is going to be what the hell is this? And it's time to go for the big kahuna. When you got this pick now, what the fuck you gonna do? Excuse me, what you gonna do with that pick? You understand? What are we gonna do with the pick? Because it's good to have. You could be like the Knicks, all these picks and just fucking juggling them. You understand? What we gonna do with that pick that you got? Because it could end up being nothing if they do nothing with it. So what are the Hornets gonna make the Pascal move? When they gonna do something like that? That's what I want to see. I want to see them go out and go get Donovan Mitchell. I'm just throwing his name out there. I want to see another All-Star in Charlotte. When are we gonna get that? When are we gonna wake up to that news?
I don't know, man. I want like a Derek White here, bro. Like I don't even want a superstar. Cool. I just want I want
Quentin Grimes.
I want
I threw his name out
That's
there.
it. That's all I want, man. I want a rotation. I want a 9-man rotation.
Like that's New York.
No, but Quentin Grimes a little disgruntled. They might. Quentin Grimes is better than shit than what y'all got rolling over there in Charlotte.
Yeah, man. Listen,
you need to get everybody that you need to go get Bruce Brown. Go get some talent. That's what I'm getting. Talent.
How old is Derek White, Sam? I'm just curious. I don't know.
They're not giving up White.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's 26, 29 years old.
That's crazy. Like he's 49 years old.
Oh wow!
But Sam, let me address this to you. Back more on the Hornets, right? They had 2 statement building wins against 2 top conference leaders. Against Boston, 1. They survived a scoring barrage of Jason Tatum, and Minnesota in the West, and they survived a scoring barrage of Big Cat. Which of these 2 wins to you gives the Hornets more momentum and hope for the future?
Oh, the Timberwolves one by far for me. Like the Timberwolves are the best defensive team in the league, and they put what they put on them. 130. What was it? 128.
128,
including a 15-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, man, I guess it's like a historic performance, a franchise record-setting performance from Cat. Is nuts. And then Leaky Black coming in as the defensive stopper. We talk like that. That is nuts. That entire game made no sense. The fact that Charlotte shot the ball at like 60, 65% throughout the game was insane. Like, no defense was being played last night. And especially without centers, by the way, right? So this goes back to PJ, right? So PJ last night, his assignments were Gobert and Towns. Think about that. That sucks. PJ had to deal with that for 4 quarters. We had Nathan Mensah coming in. That's a bad matchup. That's a really bad matchup. And the Hornets got the win in that, despite all that. So last night's win was something special.
Was you impressed with Miles Bridges, how he kind of turned back the hands of time and got really aggressive in that game? Probably the most aggression that we've seen from Miles Bridges since his return to the hardwood.
Yeah, because like there was a stretch there where the Hornets got it down to single digits and couldn't really get anything going, and Bridges got to the bucket to make something happen, right? So that is like just adult basketball, right? When things go a little cold and you're about to slip away, you drive, you get fouled, you go to the free throw line, you make something happen at the cup. Like that's adult basketball, and that's what Bridges did. Or contributed towards last night for sure. And then Brandon Miller shot the ball like a madman. Like last night was something nice. Nick Smith Jr. with some clutch buckets, like the 2 first-round picks and the undrafted guy having really nice performances. Like that was a really good win. Really good win.
But that's why I think that there's addition by subtraction. So I mean, I'm really big on this trade, and I mean, you guys just picked up the win. And like you said, the first thing you said, Sam, when you came in, is that you haven't felt this energy in Charlotte in a long time. So I feel it too, and I'm not even a Charlotte's fan. And I think that Miles played pretty good since he's come back. Brandon Miller's played great these last 3 games. LaMelo's back. You know, I've always felt as though the health of the Hornets is the biggest obstacle. And now that they're making moves, you know, get rid of all of these guys. Like, get rid of these dudes. PJ Washington played great last night, but it's time to move these pieces around and make space. And I apologize for the dude who was speaking when I popped on, so I'm gonna step out the way.
I have a question. Sam, Mark Williams, speaking of centers, Mark Williams, because the owners have openly called the core of this team, Lamelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Mark Williams. They've said that repeatedly, publicly. And now National and some of the mouthpieces are beginning to pick up on that and beginning to echo that. Either Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball or Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Mark Williams. Those 3 are the quote-unquote untouchables for the Hornets. I have a question about your thoughts on Mark Williams and his situation in terms of his body. Do you think that it would be wise to try to rush him back? Or if there's any issues with his back, should he just shut it down and get surgery and prepare for next year? Or if he can gut it out and come back? Or what's your thoughts on that, Mark Williams, Sam, especially considering Minnesota, and he will be needed for this team. He will be. So,
oh yeah, definitely. He's a major building block. Like they chose him over Jalen Duren, so they have to make it work, right? And so Mark Williams, well, he's played 19 games this year. How many games did he play last year? He played 43 last year. Excuse me. He's still like, from a time served point of view, a rookie still. And so we don't know how good he'll be yet, but he has the frame and he has a lot of potential. And I would hate for his long-term development to be hurt by his back. So I'm all for shutting him down. I'd shut him down, get right for next year, give me 70 games next year, Mark, and we'll build on that because we need him to work. It has to work for him, for the Hornets' sake, especially because Jalen Duren is that guy. But the back injuries with 7-footers are terrifying. That and feet, it's always a red flag. So I'm taking the abundance of caution because this team isn't going to win anything this year. The last thing they need is for him, like a Cody Martin situation, for him to be out for an extended period of time, delaying surgery and missing and bleeding into next year. We can't have that. He needs to have a full off season and ready to go from day one, because if the Hornets have any chance to get better, it's going to be through those three guys growing and developing together. Like that's going to be the skeletons, the bones of the team, the guard, the wing, the center. And then you fill around that for the next 6-7 years, whatever. Right. So I like Mark. One thing that is concerning about him, I just want to talk about, because like it's one of those things that you hear from Clifford when Mark was starting, when he was healthy. Not specific to Mark, but to him, to Richards, to PJ, and to Miles, just about aggression on the glass. And we never really got to see Mark fully realize what he can do as a rebounder yet. And that is something that'll come in time, but you're not going to get that if you can't stay healthy. And so, like, are we going to? Like, it's a weird cycle we're in with him. So hopefully, he gets back soon. But if it's a matter of surgery, I'd rather just go under the knife now, start your rehab, and be ready for next year.
You think Patrick Ewing will help him with that? Sam?
Patrick Ewing?
Since he's on staff?
I'm sorry, say Patrick Ewing?
Patrick Ewing is on staff.
Oh, yeah. I'm here for it. Yeah, man. Like, legit. He's plenty of coaching experience. Like, let's see. Let's see, right? Get healthy and then work on your game. Mm-hmm.
Right, I didn't feel like going downstairs.
I want to throw. I don't know if Purple is ready, but she's ready to speak. But we got Sam. He got limited time with us. I want to get the last question from Purple because she's the only one who didn't get a chance to speak. But it looked like she got some things going on. Purple, what's good? You there?
Don't judge me. Anyway, I was looking at.
Hopefully, I don't know what's going on.
I'll throw this in there while we're waiting.
Okay.
We didn't talk about him much, but Nick Smith Jr. Nick Smith Jr. could be the big winner in all this. The last 5 games, he's been basically the sixth man. He's played almost 23 minutes a night, and that should shoot up with Rozier gone. Rozier was good for 17 shots a game. So those shots got to go to somewhere, right? Someone has to take those shot attempts. And so Nick Smith Jr., he may be the unintentional benefactor of all this. I like he's been showing some glimpses thus far, extended run with him, hopefully in the place of Ish Smith the rest of the way in the rotation. Could be something nice to watch out for the rest of the year. Just so as we look for like silver linings, right, the rest of the way, Nick Smith could be one of the few bright spots when you look at the remainder of the season. Now that we're about the halfway point.
We're going to keep an eye on that. Before we get to Purple, while we're waiting on the last question, we do have breaking news, and we do have Sam in the building with us. We got breaking news in the NBA right now, ladies and gentlemen. The Milwaukee Bucks have hired Doc Rivers, as their head coach. It is official. The former NBA champion takes over for Adrian Griffin in Milwaukee. So while you're here, Sam, let you be the first one to get your thoughts. What's your thoughts? We got breaking news.
Yo, they fired Mike Budenholzer because they couldn't get it done in the playoffs. Now they hired Doc. All right, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations, Milwaukee. That's weird. That's weird. I don't like it. I get why they fired Griffin, but that's a weird one, man. That's a weird one.
And then my Doc must have been he must have been doing some shit behind the table. Doc was doing anything to get back in that seat.
Man.
Doc was scratching.
You guys think Doc is a terrible coach? Man, that's crazy.
Well, Purple, we there? Purple.
Purple sound like she's running errands in her basement.
Yeah, I was trying to give Purple a chance, but she might not be able to make this one. But Sam, man, what you got? What you got coming up, man? Let everybody know what's the deal, man.
I mean, just youtube.com/Sam Dracula. I'll be live streaming tomorrow night. I think we got the Pistons tomorrow, right? So 2 wins in a row. Maybe a little winning streak. So I'll be live streaming during the game. I'll be making Hornets videos as news breaks, and then as we closer to the trade deadline and all that stuff. But yeah, no, that's basically it. I do some podcasting with the All Hornets Podcast Network. If you want to check that out as well, probably could do one a month, basically over there. But that's basically it.
Right, definitely. We're gonna be keeping eyes on that. Shout out Marcus Moore with your $5 super chat. He says, Timberwolves fan here. Y'all deserve to beat us. Y'all played team ball while we chased Kobe's record. Our coach said we cheated the game. Salute. Do you think they cheated the game yesterday? I was wondering what the hell was going on with that. They done benched Cat. I mean, Cat wound up asking out eventually.
Cat looks so tired. I don't know. Is it? Would he get clowned if they put, like in football games, they put like the oxygen on you? Would he get clowned? He looked like he needed some oxygen on the bench, but he played incredible. That was insane. Eric Collins was losing his mind. I was losing my mind. Shout out to Cat. Shout out to the. What's up with Anthony Edwards, by the way, Marcus? Because like he looked out of it completely as well. That's another thing that the Hornets got lucky with, that he wasn't on like that.
What did you see? What's up? What was up with Anthony Edwards last night? Did you see any issues?
Yeah, he was under the weather.
Yeah, he looked sick. Yeah,
I don't know what was going on with that. It seemed like Melo getting the better of these guys though. Tyrese too.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Chief?
LaMelo's in his head. He wanted. He tossed LaMelo shoes. He better show up.
Right.
That Nike commercial. He tossed LaMelo's MBs, right?
Right.
And LaMelo commented on it. And LaMelo commented on it. LaMelo remembers like an elephant. He's there for the smoke now.
Right. I want to get Sam out of here. I want to appreciate you for stopping by with us, Sam. We're gonna definitely tap in before the season is over. Something tells me we could be tapping in the next week or so. I'm hearing something upstairs. It could be in a few days. We could be back here. Discussing something massive. I hope.
I'm here for it.
Let's hope. I appreciate you. We're gonna definitely check you out. And when next time you go live, whatever you got going on, we're gonna be there to support. It's Flight Sports. Shout out Sam Dracula, man. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
All right. Yeah, man, this is an unbelievable situation, man. Dex, man, we got breaking news before we continue with the Charlotte Hornets. What the hell is your thoughts with this hire with Doc Rivers?
Dex, you look like you're ready to jump out, boy.
What's going on?
Well, Flight, it's all about coaching those kind of teams with those high-profile players. It's all about being able to manage personalities. And Adrian Griffin pulled up too aggressively on the wrong player at the wrong time. Adrian Griffin wanted more out of Damian Lillard, and he felt that Giannis was playing uncharacteristically bad on defense. And the team was kind of floating away from his championship identity and getting more into the fluffiness of celebrity. And so when Adrian Griffin came with his football mentality, that was a little too much. It was a reminiscent of what Jason Kidd did when he was a part of the Milwaukee Bucks coaching staff as head coach. And when he kind of dressed down certain players in that organization, he was relieved of duty. So you have to walk a fine line when you get these prima donna players who have won, or prima donna players who are very marketable in a small market, on how you approach them and how you coach them. So Doc Rivers, he knows, he's been in Boston, celebrity, championship legacy franchise. He's been in the Clippers, where he coached a bunch of celebrities that didn't really do much, but he was able to manage the personalities to some degree, where he knew how to approach them and dress them down and still be professional about it.
Right. I mean, good call on that. Because when I got the news with Griffin, I was kind of lost. I'm like, damn, they got to. It reminded me of the David Blatt situation. Like I said, they not.
No. David Black's situation is a little different than that, because David Black had a team with Kyrie moving into a certain direction, more so like the European ball was kind of open, spread it, so Kyrie can just do his magic out on the court. And then LeBron decided to come back. So when LeBron decided to come back, that put a stronger impetus on David Black to win and win expeditiously. So that is a little different than Adrian Griffin and David Black. I know a lot of people have compared that, but a lot of people, they try to rewrite history. So LeBron basically pushed David Black out. Damian Lillard didn't push Adrian Griffin out because that's not Damian Lillard's team. You follow what I'm saying? Damian Lillard don't have that cachet to push him out if Giannis is not flowing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't Terry Stotts on that bench?
Yes, he quit. He saw something.
Yeah, right. He left first, didn't he?
Yes,
yeah, he saw something and he said that something is wrong here, and he bolted. He jumped ship.
He bounced.
So
when did this happen?
What? With Terry Stotts?
Yeah.
During the season.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He was the first one to go.
But they kind of kept that under the rug, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want the dysfunction to be promoted with Dame Lillard and Giannis, right? So they didn't want that dysfunction to be promoted. But at the same time, Adrian Griffin made, sometimes you gotta what you call it if you try to be more than what you are, and if people's not buying in, you try to force them verbally to buy in and use some form of intimidation. And I just think it just backfired on Adrian Griffin. And plus, they were struggling to get the defense going. I mean, they were just running amok against Milwaukee, running up and down the court, and they didn't have any type of resistance to it. Damian Lillard's not a defensive player. Damian Lillard's older. He cannot keep up with these younger guards who are footing their gazelle skill sets up and down that court, and it just looks bad sometimes.
I'm with you, man. What the hell?
Can we mute Purple?
Yeah, Purple, are you there? The Purple got something going on tonight. What's the deal, Chief? What was you saying?
There's certain coaches for certain seasons also.
Hello?
Adrian may not have been the guy for that team because maybe he needed to be on a different situation. Doc, say what you want about him. They're bridge coaches. They're coaches they're coaches that are like coaches for young teams like the Hornets and other young teams. They have a ceiling though, and after a while, you have to go to another coach to take the team to another level. Those coaches that'll rebuild, they're rebuilding coaches. They're really good. Then there are coaches in between, coaches that take teams, once it's rebuilt, then the coach can take a team into the playoffs, but not to a championship. And then you got championship coaches. Milwaukee is in the business. They're on the clock. They know it. They are a small market. They have they've invested deeply in keeping Giannis happy. Therefore, Doc is here, same day, to the left.
So Chief, what are you saying Adrian Griffin is? What kind of coach are you saying he is?
Adrian should have started. Adrian Griffin should be coaching the Washington Wizards, a team like that. It's a team that's like where he can really cut his teeth. You know what I'm saying? That way he can grow as a coach himself. A veteran team, the respect is important for a veteran team. And just like Dex said, if you come in there with a false cachet, and this your first time coaching, and even though Adrian has been an assistant for years, he was in Chicago's bench for years. You know what I'm saying? He was behind Tibbs and the rest of those guys for years in Chicago. He was one of the coaches on that bench, along with some others that was on the bench in Chicago. So I'm familiar with Adrian Griffin from his days in Chicago as an assistant. But Adrian should have started. Adrian, I don't think he should have took the job. Honestly, I think he could have taken the job that could, more of a young team, like what Udoka is doing. Udoka went down, took the Houston job, and they have bought in to him, whereas they shut Silas down. I mean, it's just the nature of it, man. And in Milwaukee, they're trying. Go ahead.
Bartrand Ime is a proven commodity for what he did with Boston.
Yeah, he did. He went to the young team by default. Like they forced his ass over there.
This is true.
He should have been on the championship team.
So he is able to command and stabilize a locker room. Now, when things go awry, he's also been tried by fire as a coach because remember what happened with Boston. I think me and Casual talked about this yesterday on the stream. How they was in the lower portion of a play-in situation. Then all of a sudden they went into a dark space, had a players team only meeting, and Old Man Al and Derek White and Marcus Smart stepped up to the forefront and challenged Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Mm.
And those are type of coaches that you can depend on when things get dark. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Adrian Griffin, not so.
Right.
Doc Rivers, he been to battle with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Remember, he had to go get DeAndre Jordan, lock him in the house so he don't sign with Dallas. You remember that illegal shit he did?
Oh, he did.
So these are type of coaches these teams want. Like, they will go all out to make sure they keep things stabilized and don't allow it to destabilize.
Tyronn too. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but Lou is already locked in though.
Yeah, Lou is locked in. Indeed. So I think it's unfortunate, but Doc is back. I mean, hopefully he can get a championship in Milwaukee, but we'll see. But he got a tall order. He got a tall order. Boston,
he got one championship with one green team. Maybe he can get another one with another green team.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see. He got a tall order though. The East is people sleep on the East. The East is not what it used to be. They're tooling up. They are.
But do you think they're gonna be able to beat Boston? That's gonna be the test.
Let Casual answer that, because this is Casual pork. This is his pork. So let him chew on these ribs.
What's up? What's up, like, bro? What's up, Dex?
Nah, man, ain't no what's up. We want to hear what you got to say about this thing going on in Milwaukee. Your team. Don't what's up, us.
Casual, you Milwaukee?
Give us the goods.
Man, you gotta let me more. Man.
You Milwaukee Casual?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes.
Just roll the piece from the shy. Okay. All right.
Perfect. Yeah. It's perfect for him.
No, it's not. I don't mind the move of getting off Adrian Griffin. I heard somebody was talking about how
you don't sound too enthused.
No, I'm not enthused because Doc Rivers is not who I want.
Thank you.
Doc Rivers is not the guy. Doc Rivers is not the guy, because if we were just going to end up getting Doc Rivers, we might as well have stuck with Mike Budenholzer. Like what are we doing here? No, somebody has said that essentially, like, Giannis didn't want Adrian Griffin there. Like, he signed off on this. Giannis didn't have to say anything. I think the front office was already they were already skeptical on Adrian Griffin being a rookie head coach, being put in a position similar to like Steve Nash a couple years ago with the Brooklyn Nets, being put on a win now team. And you don't have time for him to go through his growing pains and learn the way of head coaching in a league, especially when you're on the Milwaukee Bucks and the Bucks need to win this year, next year. Like that's the window. And so when they started to see, one, that the defense the defensive adjustments were being like not touched at all. And then two, we were like, as far as the Dame and Giannis duo, we were like towards the bottom of the league as far as pick and roll usage between a guard and big. That's unacceptable. And in fact,
unacceptable. Good point.
That's unacceptable. And the fact that even though we were 30 and 10 or 30 and we're 30 and 13 right now. 13.
Yeah,
and the fact that we're 30 and 13 right now just speaks to how talented of a group we have, more so than what he did as a head coach. Not to say he didn't do anything. I think he's a good head coach. And I agree with the gentleman that said that if he was coaching the Washington Wizards, the Portland Trailblazers, or any other team that is like under the radar, I don't think he would get nearly as much coverage as he's getting on the Milwaukee Bucks is just because he so happens to be on a team that has championship aspirations, that has arguably the best player in the league, has arguably a top 5 guard in the league, that he cannot make these mistakes. And so when it comes to him getting fired, I'm not surprised. I'm just a little bit disappointed that it happened in the middle of the season, because no matter what head coach you bring in, that adjustment for the head coach and the players is like that's a tough adjustment that's going to have to be made before the postseason comes around. And if y'all know,
So hold on, Casual. Stop right there because you said something important. So do they continue with the intern coach who's within the organization, or do they? I mean, excuse me, not intern coach. Do they continue with the same philosophy of the Griffin era with Doc Rivers, or do they change their whole philosophy based on the?
I think the motion offense that they had set in place, that Adrian Griffin had sort of got them into a routine for, which really isn't a motion offense. It's more of a DHO. I think that you still maintain that. The only thing that I think should be like a requirement for whatever head coach you bring in, there have to be more Dame and Giannis pick and rolls. That has to be a must. You have to run more of those. If you're not running more of those, there really is no reason for you being here. Also, a better defensive scheme. I think Adrian Griffin leaving Dame and Malik Beasley on the perimeter to fend for themselves, especially on screens, because Dame dies on screens routinely. That is not a recipe for success. I think the head coach that comes in has to understand that you have to come with some type of idea of what you want to do with the players we have in place currently to be able to hide Dame a little bit better, hide Malik Beasley a little bit better. And so do I think that there's a coach out there that can do all of those things? Hell no. I think the coach that should have been brought in here to do those things went to Philadelphia. So because he's not on the market, and I know for sure Doc Rivers not doing that. We're in a tough position.
Well, hold up now. Don't forget Lob City.
Pushback.
Go ahead, Gemini.
I got pushback.
Go ahead, Gemini.
Lob City?
Okay, literally, you're talking about a team that literally signed a player that came off of an injury, right, to a contract. Then, like that player is not producing up to that contract. Then on top of that, y'all went and gave away y'all best defenders on y'all backcourt. Y'all gave away them
You mean our
to
best
acquire
defender?
them. No, best defenders, because even if you don't like Anderson, you have to acknowledge his defense. Even
Anderson,
if you
who
can't,
you talking about? You
the
talking about
former
Grayson
Duke
Allen?
player,
You talking
yeah,
about Grayson Allen?
Allen, yeah, Allen. I'm sorry, Allen. That like even if you can't stand him for his dirty play, he still played defense.
Oh no, I agree.
Like so literally y'all gave away the people in y'all backcourt that was playing D and also producing to acquire offense to now for a man that y'all have to cover up, and you're trying it in it's the ownership that's trying to blame the coach. That is the part where I disagree with the other gentleman saying, "Oh, they cut the bleeding." No, it's not. That's not the coach bleeding. Y'all gave away the people that could have helped him.
Okay, well, despite all that, right? Despite all that, what you just said, because a lot of pundits.
Dex, I just want to say this. When it comes to Grayson Allen, we didn't give him away. We didn't re-sign him because his demands for what he wanted as far as a payday, because he shot 40% from the 3-point line,
Right.
quality defense. We just couldn't afford him.
No, I know that.
But that leads me to.
I'm speaking to the chat when I say that. Me and you know the numbers, and that part is fine. But I'm speaking to the chat when we say that, because you cannot put everything on the coach and not hold the players accountable So like when it comes
okay,
to
this is the part that this is what I want to ask you. This is what I'll ask
okay,
all of you guys. Okay, and this is the dilemma that Milwaukee fans are dealing with. Even if the personnel has gotten worse defensively, right?
right.
Is it not the responsibility of the coach that's coming in, understanding full knowledge of the personnel he has before him, to figure out some way to be able to, disguise the flaws that are within that team?
Absolutely.
So if you're
if you
go ahead.
have the personnel to cover it up with, he doesn't have the personnel to cover that up with, sir. I'm sorry.
Giannis, Brooke Lopez, Chris
Is
Middleton,
Giannis a
Jay
guard?
Crowder, Pat Connaughton are not.
Is
These are
Crowder a
wings.
guard?
These are wings.
Okay.
These are wings,
So,
and there's plenty
and
of
your
evidence.
problem is in your
There's plenty of
backcourt
evidence.
right
Okay.
now.
Do you think Jamal Murray is a good defensive player?
As far as a wing, yes.
No.
As far as your backcourt,
Jamal Murray is a point guard. He's a point guard for the Denver Nuggets. Do you think he's a good defender?
I think he's average at best. Average.
Okay, he's not. He's bad. And so, but
like
the reason why he looks average is because Mike Malone used his personnel. He has Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and he just he acquired KCP last year. He used those three to be able to help disguise Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic's flaws. Say it again.
KCP been there for a minute.
Well, no, KCP came there last year, and immediately he showed his effect on the defensive end, like being able to assist in disguising Jamal Murray's flaws on the defensive end in the postseason.
KCP
so what I'm saying is,
go ahead. I'm not gonna argue semantics.
Oh, Purple is back.
Hey, Purple.
But listen, let's go back. Let's go back to the Doc Rivers
KCP been there like about 3 seasons.
Because I think we're telling off too far.
I get what he's alluding to, and I do. But right now Griffin doesn't have the personnel to be able to
Griffin
cover
is
that
gone.
But Dex, but here's my thing. Honestly, Belchamp was supposed to be the next best thing, and we all can attest to Belchamp did not produce up to the point
you talking about
that we thought that he. But yeah, Beauchamp, that he was supposed to be at this point. Like like Allen wasn't even supposed to have time right now to actually be to be technical.
We're getting far away from what excites us right now. What excites us right now? Hold on. What excites us right now is that Doc Rivers is incoming. Terry Rozier is out. These are the things that is pervading the sports news right now. So all this
I don't
Grayson
think
Allen
Doc's
talk.
gonna be able to fix this. I don't think Doc's gonna be able to fix
Okay, well,
this.
let's talk that then.
Like for real.
I would get on Grayson Allen and all this other ancillary
because we're
pieces.
talking about because we're talking about the personnel. We was now going back to the personnel that the Bucks have right now.
Saying let's stay on the surface. We're getting too deep on a Milwaukee Bucks team that nobody really cares about on this channel.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It was good, bro.
Is anybody else coming with Doc in this deal? Is Doc, is he bringing his people?
You know what? 9 times out of 10, knowing how Doc Rivers operates in like his entire time as a head coach in NBA history, if he comes, he's definitely told them, "I'm picking my people." So if he's bringing his people, on the negative, like getting away from the negative side, the positive for having Doc Rivers there is you basically have Mike Budenholzer's system again, which means there's definitely going to be some Dame and Giannis pick and roll being ran, probably to like the tune of it equaling what James Harden and Joel Embiid did last year, which was good enough for the best offense. I think the best offense in the second best offense in the NBA last year. So that's the positive. I also think the defense will actually have some level of identity. Now, whether he makes the adjustments in the postseason that will inevitably be required to be made, I doubt highly. But at least there would be some type of defensive scheme that you can be able to point to and say, I know what they're trying to do. Because even with Adrian Griffin being as good as he was offensively, defensively, I didn't know what the fuck they were trying to do. Like, it was times where, like, it just looked like they were just guarding. They were playing man-to-man, like, wreck type shit. So I think that those are some positives that come with Doc Rivers coming. And truth be told, that's good enough for us to, like, coast through the regular season. My main question my main concern is, how is he going to sort of disguise or be the answer to any of the flaws that we've noticed so far this season? Because even with them having the third best offense, there's times where they're too reliant on Giannis or they're too reliant on Dame ISOs on the perimeter. I wonder how Doc answers that question. I wonder how he answers the question of whether he makes any adjustments in the postseason, because he still has to beat those allegations. Like, I need to know those things before I feel confident in saying they can beat the Boston Celtics in a 7-game series.
I think Doc Rivers is going to bring in more so of that Clippers offense, where you have the threat of the pick and roll, because I believe Doc Rivers will bring that to the forefront, but not only just the pick and roll with Giannis and Dame, but casual. What about the pick and pop with Dame and Brook Lopez? Don't you think that will be an arsenal to use throughout the season and the postseason?
It's been so far, so why go away from it? Yeah. No, yeah. I think any pick and roll partner that you would like to choose, whether it's Dame and Giannis, Dame and Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, Giannis, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, like, you're going to get a fine offense in that either way, especially with the floor spacing that we have. We have a few players on our roster right now that are shooting 40+% from the 3-point line, and that's not even including Dame. We know how prolific of a 3-point shooter Dame is when he's on point. So that's not truly the concern. The main concern should be on the defensive end, disguising, like hiding Dame. How is he going to do that? And
didn't he hide Chris Paul to a certain degree?
What he did?
Chris Paul is one of the greatest defensive.
No, Chris Paul plays the lane. He plays the defensive lane. He wasn't a one-on-one. He plays the lane. Eric Gordon was more so the one-on-one.
He did hide him.
Dex, he did not. No, he did. Chris Paul is a great on-ball defender. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I don't know about great.
He didn't have the height. During those years,
Derek cooked him.
He was.
Sorry, casual.
Say it again.
During those years, he was a decent on the ball defender, and he didn't have to be hitting like now. Like Dame has to be hitting. The Beasley has to be hitting. So those are two players that he's going to have trouble playing together on the court. Like that's the problem he's going to have.
What you were saying, Chief?
No, I'm just saying that Derek cooked. Derek was cooking Chris Paul.
You talking about Derrick Rose?
Yes.
You're nasty.
So a lot of people cook Chris Paul that one.
Derrick Rose was cooking everybody that year.
Yeah, well, he was. I mean,
so we're talking about an MVP candidate, right? Right. So that's the gut shot you're going to go with, right?
We're gonna take him out. Hey, I'm from Chicago. I'm gonna rep Rose now.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm literally stating that the MVP candidate is going to cook a lot of people, and that's the person that you're going to pick. It now. If you would have said another name,
I think
it kind of could have been a debate, but come on.
The thing of it is, I think Chris Paul was a better defender before he became a Clipper. Once he became a Clipper, he wasn't no stellar defender.
Well, that's not.
I don't know what version of Chris Paul as a Clipper.
That's not true. That's not true.
For the MVP, Derrick Rose.
Chris Paul used to play the passing lane well, but because he would what you call that? Hold on one second. Let me say this. What you call that when his intuition was really high IQ? because
You
he'll
talking
play the
about his?
passer. But as far as
You
one-on-one,
talking about
I
his
don't know
reaction
Chris
time?
Paul stopping anybody like that.
It's the
I
whole
never
Okay.
noted him to be a shutdown defender.
You don't
I
know.
I
You
think
don't have
y'all
to be, but
embellishing
you don't.
his
But you do
defensive
not have to
No,
skills.
be.
no,
Okay.
let's
You
take
do
no,
not have to
Dex.
be a shutdown. You do not have to be a shutdown defender. You don't have to shut anybody down to be a good defender, but to be a great defender. I don't know where that logic came from because
As
Kawhi
long
had,
as you're able to keep your
yeah,
man in front you.
yes, like
That
the whole
As a
objective
Clipper,
of
we're talking Chris Paul Clipper,
and Chris
not
Paul
yes,
Chris
and a
Paul,
Clipper.
not
Okay,
Chris
okay.
Paul, New
And
Orleans.
okay.
yes,
In a clip
Clipper.
and Chris Paul in a Clipper uniform
He wasn't playing really no defense.
he was asked to
Not at
The
all.
asked to
Clippers didn't play
guard
no
an
defense
MVP
at all. Period.
and a
Ooh,
Chris in a Clippers Chris
I think you
Paul.
guys are
Oh my God.
remaking history.
No.
A Clippers Chris Paul was asked to guard Kevin Durant in his MVP year in the postseason. He did a damn
What do you
good
mean
job
asked
at
to
6 feet.
guard? So did
Yes, he had to guard Kevin Durant.
Beverly. Beverly did the same thing.
And
To
he
what?
also
To
was
no avail. To
and
get
he's
50,
also a
60 points
phenomenal
put on him.
and he's also a phenomenal
You can
defender.
stand next to Kevin Durant all you want.
He
I
was
mean, come on.
also
You can't tell me that Chris Paul was shutting down Kevin Durant. Stop it. You're going to get your
Kevin
basketball license
Durant
taken.
Stop saying shut
Revolt.
down.
Kevin Durant is a small forward. Stop doing that, Dex.
Listen,
Kevin
I'm not
Durant
going
is
to
a
take
small
anything from
forward.
you
We're talking
dealing with
about
Kevin Durant.
guards. We're
Bronzexual.
talking about guards.
You
We're
can't tell me
talking
nothing
about
about Kevin Durant. Not
guards.
you,
What are you
Gemini.
talking?
He brought up
I
Kevin
don't.
Durant.
Oh,
I brought him up to speak about how Chris Paul did a
Thank
damn
you,
good job
Thunder.
guarding
And
Kevin
Thunder's a
Durant.
younger guy. And listen, I used to go to Clipper games, and it's fascinating that you guys going to tell me that I'm seeing something that I'm not seeing.
So if they
And
want to,
all Clipper games was the fall off of Mike D'Antoni's offense.
so if
All
they
they did was run up and down the court.
It was the fall off of Mac
So where you gonna
D'Antoni.
get the defense from? Where you
But
guys talking the
Chris
defense
Paul,
stuff?
but Chris Paul did play
if Lob City
defense on
didn't
his man.
if Lob City didn't play any defense, why from 2013 to 2015 were they a top 10 defense?
I don't know about all that top 10 defense and how the league was,
All right,
utilizing top defense as a whole. But I go to Clipper games, and when I watch the Clippers play, I ain't seeing no defensive matchups that you be like, whoa, this team got some D.
From
They ran up and down the court all day throwing lobs.
From 2013 to 2015, they were a top 10 defense. That's all I gotta say.
You said from where?
2013 to 2015.
But that's what I'm trying to ask you, because those numbers can be skewed because the metrics that you could be. Hold on, listen. Those metrics that you use could be skewed because it could have been an up and down league at that time because Golden State was running it then, right?
What? In 2013 and 2014? No, they weren't.
Lord,
oh, you said 2013 and 2014.
I said 2013 to 2015. So the 2012,
The
2013
Golden State
season
was in it 2015. So what do you mean? Yes, it was running it.
Okay, 2012 to 2013 to 2014, 2015 season.
But like I said, the league became more wide open. So I don't know how you measure defense because you're going to have to measure defense regardless of the play, right?
Okay. You're talking.
You know
about
what I'm saying?
But I get what you're saying, and what you're speaking about was an anomaly amongst anomalies. The Golden State Warriors were in a league of their own at the time. The league didn't catch up.
I agree.
Until 2016, 17.
I agree with that. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So
Okay,
when you
so what are you
using
talking about?
okay, I'm explaining to you what I'm talking about. When you saying that the Clippers was a top defensive team, I don't know. I can't remember like exactly how you measure a good defensive team when a lot of teams were just running up and down the court at one point.
In 2012. Okay, so I'm gonna explain it to you. In 2012, 2013, the Indiana Pacers were the best defense in the league. You remember that, right? You remember that Indiana Pacers defense, right?
I remember the Indiana Pacers team. Yeah, are you talking to Lance Stevenson and those guys, right?
The Paul George, the Roy Hibbert, the Dave. Yeah. You remember the Grit and Grind Grizzlies? That was second.
Yeah, the Granger, all of them. Yeah,
exactly. You also remember the Miami Heat, how well of a defensive unit they were, right?
Now Miami Heat is different.
The Clippers,
they did have a good defensive team. I will give you that.
Exactly. Okay.
They were structured different.
Perfect. The Clippers were a better defense than that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Miami had a good defensive team. They were structured different, but Like I said, I
Okay.
don't know if Clippers had a better defense
The
than that. I'm
Clippers
not sure.
couldn't score the ball.
The
Like
Clippers.
their
Hell yeah,
problem
they
was
scored
they
the ball.
couldn't score
No, the
other than
Clippers.
for
That
lobs.
wasn't.
But
No,
they,
that wasn't. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that's not
I'm with you.
right.
I'm with you. No. He's right. He's right. Outside of the pick
Clippers
and roll
can score.
between. It's not that they
yes,
couldn't. It's not that they couldn't score. It's that when you get into the crunch time, right? You need a go-to bucket that is like able to
and they
translate in the
didn't have
postseason,
it.
and they did not have that
I
because
agree
it
with
was
that also.
easy.
They didn't have a go-to player because Blake Griffin
Ex-
wasn't that go-to player. I think Chris Paul was probably their best go-to player. I mean, to be honest
Okay,
with
but
you.
exactly.
let Casual finish. Let Casual
They
finish. Go
didn't
ahead,
have
Casual.
they did not have that go-to move outside of the pick and roll, and the reason why the pick and roll wasn't as effective in crunch time was because all they did was build a wall on Blake Griffin, and at that time Blake Griffin was not an efficient enough outside shooter to reason a pick and pop on a consistent basis. So
I
when
agree.
that came time, Blake Griffin basically got canceled out, and so Chris Paul was either dealt the hand to either shoot a
I agree.
mid-range, a contested mid-range, or him try to get to the foul line, and that's just not an effective
But
enough offense that was
that's
going to
not
get you deep
saying
in the
that
postseason.
Chris Paul was a top end defender based on the way the league is played compared to the way the league
The
may be
reason,
played now or before then.
okay, and the reason why
You know what I'm saying?
they were they were a top 10 defense from 2013 to 2015. DeAndre Jordan played a hand in that. Do you know who else did? That was Chris Paul. There was nobody else on
Yes.
that team that left reason for you
Eric
to.
Gordon?
You were not. What?
No, man, cut it out, Dex.
Okay, now you're just throwing names out here. Because Jamal Crawford, JJ Redick, Eric Gordon,
Jamal
Griffin.
Crawford is not a defender, so stop.
Exactly. So none of those players played a hand or a big enough hand in the defense going from being the 18th the year prior before Chris Paul even got there to being
So what about
a
Eric
number
Bledsoe?
8
He didn't play no defense?
Who?
He
Eric
wasn't
Bledsoe.
known as a
Eric Bledsoe.
defensive
Eric
player
Bledsoe wasn't
at
even
all.
Eric Bledsoe played in the 2012. Oh no, he played in the 2013 season. He only played like 20
No, he
minutes.
played.
He played 20 minutes. It was meaningful minutes.
Yeah, but
He
he wasn't
definitely
known for
played a hand.
defense.
No,
What was
Eric
he
Bledsoe
known
was
for then? What was Eric Bledsoe known for?
No, Eric Bledsoe
He
was
was
known for
known.
defense.
He was known.
He was a
What
very
was he
good
Eric
known for
Bledsoe
then,
was known for
Gemini? No, let
defense.
Gemini talk.
Oh my
What was he
God.
known for, Gemini?
Bledsoe was
Ac-
known for defense.
He was actually known for
What, 3-point shooting?
no.
Lobs?
The defense that
Pick
y'all
and
talking
pops?
about this no, the defense that y'all talking about this man was known for is not putting him on the same metric as Chris Paul, and
I
that's
agree with
what
that.
I'm
I agree
talking
with that.
about.
Yeah, no. The thing about Eric Bledsoe was known, especially at that time, was his tenacious defense off the bench, right? So in minuscule minutes, so
So
20
what is he
minutes a
known for
game.
then, Casual?
His defense
Okay,
and his
just say
ability to
that then.
control
No,
and his
but
ability
bruh,
to also control
no,
the
Dex,
pace.
don't do that because no, because Casual, don't let Dex get away with that
Okay,
bullshit.
what about
So what is
Patrick
he?
Beverly? What is Patrick Beverly known for?
No, Dex, we gonna back this bus up a
No, what
little
is
bit
Patrick
because
Beverly
I'm
known for?
not gonna let you know because I'm not gonna let you get away with that bullshit. That bullshit you just tried to pass off just
I don't
now.
agree with the
No,
Chris Paul
no,
narrative. I don't agree with that
no,
as a Clipper.
no,
I'm talking
because
about as a Clipper, not before he became a Clipper.
You don't have to agree with it. It's a fact.
Dex,
He was
back that bus up.
a tenacious
Just because
defender
you
at that
don't
I
time.
don't agree
don't
with it.
agree
I
with
ain't
it,
never seen Chris
the
Paul
numbers and the facts don't back you up.
no on-ball
And
defense.
I'm not gonna let you get away with that, Dex.
I mean, you can have your say. I mean, it's cool, but I'm just going with my eye test. I ain't never known Chris Paul to be that on-ball defender like you guys parading him to
All right.
be.
Well, you're
Now
going.
he
All right. Well, you're
definitely
going.
played the
Dex,
passing
you're
lane.
going off. Well, Dex, you're going off of eye test, and we're going off of eye test, and the accolades speak for it, and the team's defensive rating speaks for it too.
Okay.
So we have facts to back our eye test.
Okay.
Like that, I'm not gonna let you get away with that, Dex. No,
It ain't about getting away with it. I'm telling you what I observed.
Nobody.
Chris Paul was a damn good defender down in New Orleans. But when he became a Clipper and was a floor general,
I know you're speaking as a
his defense
Laker.
wasn't the same.
I know you're speaking as a Laker, and
I
that's
didn't see him
fine.
get
I
torched.
have
I
no
seen Chris
beef with
Paul
that.
get torched. People shoot right over him.
I have no beef with that. That you're speaking as a Laker. I have no beef with
He
that.
said trauma session.
But don't take away that man accolades like that, bro. Don't do that.
I'm not taking away anything. The way that you guys describe his defense, I never saw it. Now I know Chris Paul was hellified in intuition and tricking a lot of other point guards and shooting guards, and he gets in that passing lane and he steals that ball. I know Chris Paul is very affluent at that. But as far as you saying Chris Paul, stop this guy, I never seen it. I never even heard of it. That's all I'm saying.
And, well, you heard of it now because I just told you, bro.
No, that's just a metric you gave me. That doesn't have anything to do with
That's facts
anybody
to back
saying.
up. That's facts to back up.
I mean, that's analytics. That's analytics. I give you that. That's analytics. But no one could just tell you. No real basketball fan is going to tell you Chris Paul era as a Los Angeles Clipper, he was an outstanding defensive stopper. Nobody could tell you that.
Okay, so right now,
That's only you.
okay, so right now with the Bucks, are you trying to say that with Doc Rivers going to the Bucks, that they defensive woes is going to be fixed? Is that what you're saying now, Dex?
I'm not saying that he's going to fix any defense. That's why I'm saying that Doc Rivers is there to manage personalities, because Doc Rivers have managed superstars and celebrity personalities throughout his coaching tenure, whether it was with Boston, whether it was with Philly, whether it was with the Clippers, and now it's going to be with Milwaukee Bucks. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying X and O Doc Rivers is superior than most. All I'm saying is he can manage celebrity and diva personalities, and that's what you got up in Milwaukee, and this is what Casual is not trying to share.
Huh?
Salute Dex.
If you
Salute
heard me,
Dex.
you heard me.
Salute Dex. Salute Dex.
Oh,
You got your
Belize, go
first
for
print.
it.
Yeah.
Go for it,
What up,
Belize.
my
What's
guys?
good, Fresh Prince?
What up, my guys? Man, it's been a while. Man, I seen y'all chime in on this trade. I was just like, man, I had to chime in real quick. And then I heard you talking about that. It's a lot of NBA stuff. It's been a while. That Milwaukee thing is kind of crazy too. So wait, I was just listening. Doc is officially the new coach over there now, or that's what's
Yeah.
He's at the head of the list. So they're supposed to get in contact with him.
So look, I want to ask you something. Do you think what was the assistant coach name? Terry Scott? What's his
Terry
name?
Stotts.
Yeah. Do you think possible they bring him back and bring him as the head coach?
No, because he would that he to be honest with you.
Didn't him and Adrian fall out though, right? Him and the head coach fell out.
Yeah.
But Dame was okay with him being there though.
Yeah, because that was his former head coach.
Right, of course. So do you think possibly they bring him back instead of I know everybody's screaming Doc because Doc just left, and it's easy to go to that. But do you think maybe something like that may happen? Even along the lines.
Anything's possible.
Why?
Anything's possible. I just don't think I don't think that it's highly probable. Just because I mean, if you're gonna go with getting Terry Stotts,
that's another new coach. Yeah, because that's another new coach.
Well, Terry Stotts not a new coach.
He was there last season.
Terry
Stotts coached the Portland Trailblazers for years.
No.
And then he was the assistant coach last season.
No, what I mean by that is because they keep talking about they want a proven coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they what they're mentioning as ownership, they want a coach like that has been to conference finals or like either side or a championship like that. So that's what they're looking
Terry
for.
Stotts done that. Terry Stotts did that.
Okay.
He went to the conference with the Blazers.
Yeah, he went to the conference with the Blazers in 2019. So like that, it's anything's possible, but I think it's not probable. I appreciate it. It's not probable. No, you didn't.
All right, hold on. All right, enough about that. You know why I'm really here? Let's talk about my boy Lamelo. Hold on. So look, I want to ask you this though. Hold on, because I got a couple ways you could go with this. Yo, hold on. My man, Flight. I know you might like this one too. I have two ways I want to go with this. So with them now getting Kyle Lowry, right? One, do you think they should put Lamelo now at the shooting guard and let Kyle Lowry run the point? Now that they got Terry Rozier out of the shooting guard, you think something like that may be something good? Or do you think they back him up and play backup? And another thing, Do you think they make a trade to the New York Knicks and they make Kyle Lowry back with OG, right? And they use him as backup for Brunson. Give me what your take on those. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I like your face, Dex. I like how you did that.
Well, Purple haven't talked in a while. Purple, you want to address that?
I need Casual's help on this.
What's up?
I was watching FYS channel last night, right? And he was helping Dex's team out, the Lakers, and something popped up on the trade machine. He was trying. I forgot who he was trying to trade, but they said it was a CBA rule that said that teammates that was if they were teammates prior, that they can't play on the same team. How many years have to go by before they can play? Because I know Kyle Lowry and what's his name used to be teammates. Because they said it was a new rule, and I'm like, what the hell?
I think it's 2. Is that correct, Casual or Gemini?
I'm digging it right now because I ain't.
Either way, that was 2019. They were playing together.
That
Kyle Lowry
is
left 2020, right?
that is the rule that's going to be that's in the upcoming CBA that doesn't affect the trade right now. I know what Lamont was speaking about, but that doesn't affect the trade right now. That the trade can go down.
Yeah, because the new CBA don't start until next year, right?
No, it already started. It started
It don't start
in the
We
summer.
got to start next
It don't
season.
start.
You can't
Yeah,
start
it
this
starts
season.
next summer. It starts next summer.
Next summer, yeah.
Oh, this summer.
They just agreed on it, so it got to be
No,
next.
it started in July because they
It's
going
not
by
July
the new.
yet. It's not July yet.
July of
It started
24.
in July last year. You can pull it up.
Let me see.
All right, more or less, Kyle Lowry to the Knicks. Do y'all think something like that would be nice for Kyle
No,
Lowry
you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, Perp. I
to
apologize.
play backup with Brunson?
It can't happen. That's what I'm telling you.
How? Kyle Lowry been away from Toronto for years, and they wasn't even.
I'm looking for the rule right now so that I can
I
have
was
some
trying
type
to find the rule.
Yeah.
Bro, Kyle Lowry been on Miami for like
I think
2
it's 2
seasons
years.
already.
I think it's 2
But he's
years.
been on Miami for like 2 seasons already.
But anyway, let me address your question, Belize. Damn, I think I forgot what you said. Oh yeah, no, Kyle Lowry will not see a Hornets uniform. He probably won't even come into the city of
I think he's going to be
Charlotte.
bought out. To be honest,
He's going to be bought out on the market. He's definitely not coming down from that. See, he's not like the Terry Roziers and the Gordon Hayward. He ain't coming off that high hill in Miami down to the valley in Charlotte Hornets, where they still undecided of what they're going to do with the construction of that roster that's for the players that's remaining. Kyle Lowry will be bought out in the market. He's going to do the same thing Reggie Jackson did last season.
He can't, because that's a rule too. He can't go to any playoff team. That's the competitions committee rule too. I was like, they on some bullshit, dog. He can't get traded to any team.
I ain't gonna lie. Respectfully, Purple Baby, you coming with a lot of negative energy, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
No,
but I respect the rules and all that. But right now, bro, you just coming down just like, nope, can't that happen. Nope, that can't. Damn, bro. Give us a second, my girl. Damn. Let a nigga dream.
Come with the
Damn.
rules, Purple. Come with the rules, Purple.
But I respect it. I respect it all the way, Purple. I ain't even gonna lie. I respect it because these are stuff that I don't know. So I respect it all the way. You know what I mean? New knowledge is always.
Do y'all think there should be a rule though that they can't
play out the season compared like summer, except his team's maximum qualifying? I don't see it.
That's why I said.
Go ahead, read your question.
No. I'm reading the article of like the CBA layout, and I'm
no.
So if Kyle Lowry get bought out, that means he got to go to a team that's not contending. So that means like what a team like the Spurs? You put him with Victor?
I don't
understand. No. That's teams. That's teams. No. That's not. I did read that. That's team. That the situation you're talking about. That's teams that are on the second apron. If you're on the second apron, like you can't. You
can't even get a mid-level exception.
Yeah, you can't get into the buyout market. But everybody else can. That's within reason.
I'm about to give you a laundry list of players. Let me see.
Oh wow.
Yes,
They just put a early termination option in the contracts now.
they can't
Trade
have them players.
words.
That's
Like they
crazy.
can't
Everybody.
have them players if they already in the second apron.
Yeah, when you're in the
See,
second apron, you damn
that's
near
why.
done.
But
Okay.
but here's the thing though, Dex, with the second apron for a lot of average fans, right? What they don't understand, you can be in that second apron $1 or $20 million. It doesn't matter, right? But then to go to sign somebody extra that was just bought out, you
Mm-hmm.
used to be able to do that. Now you will not be able to do that. And this is why Jenny said what she said. And that's why I've been going at
What
Lakers
did
fans
Jenny say? What she said for the people who don't know, like me? What did she say?
Oh,
I don't.
she said she was not going to let the fines of the CBA affect the team, so she would not be in the second apron this season. And Lakers fans are losing their damn mind.
Yeah. I think that's messed up for Kyle Lowry though. But I think he knew it was coming. That he was going.
Listen, I'm happy for Terry Rozier. He can go down
Man, he's
there.
shooting 0 for 18 from the 3-point line, man. Like he knew it was coming.
No,
He's
I
shooting
mean,
0 for 18.
but come on now, dog. Like
Yeah, perp.
he
I'm a
37.
I'm a I'm gonna get on the phone with Mont to see to get his to pick his brain on this because I'm looking up the entire contract up and down, and I see nothing about you not being able to trade for a player that played for you years prior. Like I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, because like I said,
Yeah,
it's not.
that is a rule because that's preventing the
That
shenanigans of letting the
Is that
player
in the new
go and
CBA or
then.
has that been there?
no. That but casual. That's not an NBA rule. That's from the Players Association. That's a
Oh,
player
oh,
association
okay.
rule.
So now I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm not. I shouldn't be looking at the CPA. I should
Yeah,
be
Oh,
in
I
the
get it.
NBPA.
But
yeah.
why did that become a rule if y'all don't mind me asking?
Like I was
Because
explaining
they
that.
didn't want players to manipulate the league.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
okay, the only difference between the NBA and the NFL is that the players have a more of a say. In the NFL, the owners have 85% of the say, and that's the difference. In the NBA, the players have more of a say than the NFL players, and that's the overall difference.
Well, in the NFL, you can waive a player and he be on waiver wire, and if nobody picks him up in that period of time, that team can bring that player back and
Yeah,
restructure his contract. And I think the
right.
NBA is trying to prevent that.
Oh,
No, because the NBA technically already have that where they can bring players back at the drop of a hat easy. So that the NBA been already having that. The NFL actually stole that from the NBA.
so what do y'all
Interesting.
want y'all Lakers to do? Like if
I,
Lakers
I,
about to
I
lose to the Clippers.
no,
shut up.
Purple. I'll tell you this: we have a center problem, and I told y'all I will give y'all Jax and Kristen Woods and a second round pick for Nick, and I'll walk away from the table. That's all I need from y'all. Nothing more, nothing less. Big L will be mad at me, I know, but I'll still see him around the holiday time. Okay, all right.
What
Hey,
about you?
okay. So real quick, I just want to like get your. I wasn't here for this. How y'all? What's y'all thoughts about me being right? How y'all feel about this? How
Like when
y'all
you say
feel?
right, what percentage do you want me to put on it?
Er,
Um.
Right about what?
So last night. Oh well, give me about 60%, Pete. But nah, I was last night after that stinker of a game Terry Rozier put out there, even though the Hornets won, I said out my mouth literally, and Dex, you can back me up on this. I literally said, trade that nigga now. Y'all done gave him 2 months to fuck around. He done got his numbers up. His trade values is by as high as it's gonna get. Trade that nigga now before they change his mind.
I thought his numbers, but to me,
He's having career numbers this year.
He's having career numbers.
I thought his numbers was up. Like to me,
yeah,
like,
his numbers is up. That's why Miami needs him.
His numbers were up, but there's reasons why his numbers got up. But as we know, the front office in the NBA could give two shit about content. They could care less about content.
I get why.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier was auditioning for the Miami Heat all season long.
And so that's why I said he got his numbers up. While his numbers are still up right now, because best believe now that Lamelo's back, and it looks like the Timberwolves.
Miles Bridges
game
led the scoring last night.
Yeah, the Timberwolves game would lead me to believe that Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Lamelo are going to be getting the main amount of touches, which means Terry Rozier is going to be the odd man out from here on out. So that means his numbers are going to go down. So while his numbers are still up, trade that nigga.
All right, hold on, Dex. I got another one for you. Do you think Lamelo was ready probably sooner, but was just waiting to get that approval of the tattoo before he got back on the court?
No, I don't think the tattoo had anything to do with him getting back on the court.
And shout out for the NBA.
And I still don't think LaMelo is all the way healthy. I just think that he's one of those mentally tenacious type of athletes that wants to be a part and finish the deal. You know, he thinks if he doesn't play, he's letting the team down, and he's not, fulfilling his part of the bargain. That's some people are cut like that.
I also want to highlight with Lamelo, because I only be coming on this channel respectfully.
Wait a minute, is this
show
real?
love to my boy Lamelo. Lamelo, hold on. He's top 5 in voting for guards, and he's barely even played, bro. Lamelo is just a guy, bro. I don't know if
because when he did play, he was playing like a.
I understand that, but he got more votes than Jalen Brunson right now, bro. Y'all paying attention to this shit?
He was.
Hey, did anybody hear the Charlotte Hornet broadcast? Shout out Flight Sports TV.
I didn't.
Wait a minute, is this real?
Wait, what did you just say, Dex? I'm sorry, I missed that.
The Hornets broadcast. I think Eric Collins and Dale Curry. Shout out Flight Sports TV.
Wow, that's crazy. That's big.
I actually watched the game.
Which game was that? That was last night?
Yeah, Minnesota game. It was pregame. It was pregame. Not during the game.
Hard work pays off.
That's crazy. That's what's up. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, my boys.
The machine. Don't forget to say the machine.
The machine. They always coming. The chat, all the panel, all y'all. We love you, Purple Baby. I love you so much, my girl. I ain't gonna hold you. You always come correct me when I come here making a fool of myself. But yeah, we outside.
I would say, like I said, I'm happy for Terry. I think some of the foolishness we seen with the Hornets, you're not gonna see it with the Heat. So,
he gonna go over there and average 16 points. He gonna play within the structure of the game. You're going to get a better Terry and
you're gonna see that
a less
Boston Terry.
frustrated Terry. Yeah, you're going to get a less frustrated Terry
and a better play.
Yeah, I mean, like literally.
Terry's has been revived. They have resuscitated his career. When you have the type of talent that Terry Rozier really have, even though he's a shorty, when you get down there in a structured offense and a structured kind of defense with a culture that's highly valued, like the Miami Heat, punching in 9 to 5 off the court, not the on the court issue. I'm talking about off the court, where the behind the scenes that you grow up to be a Miami Heat. This is going to be good for Terry.
Heat fans. If you see his old tweets, they bringing out his old tweets while he been shooting for the Miami Heat for years. They got tweets from 2010, 2011. Where he's like, he was just rocking with the Heat. And with them just retiring Udonis Haslem, they about to put up Dwayne Wade statue. It's a great time for him to be there to try to, bring that culture back. They just went to the finals twice in like 4
He
years.
ain't bringing no culture back. What you mean? The
I mean,
culture.
Wait. I was. That's the question I was about to ask. What culture is he bringing back?
Nah, I didn't
That's the
fully mean
question.
like bring back, but I mean like just keeping it flowing and just keep it going. Like keep it going. I feel like
Yeah, it's going to be a culture shock for Terry, Belize. No doubt.
Yeah,
It's going to be a culture shock. Because down in Charlotte, I mean, he can do whatever he wants, right? He's one of the league veterans down there. So he probably can do whatever he
I
wants.
think he know what he's doing in Miami, and I think he's ready to make that sacrifice. I feel like he had his time to have fun in Charlotte, and it's like, all right, now it's time to get back to what I really signed up
Good
for.
point.
Like, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
Yep,
I
I
feel like
agree.
he knows what that is, and like I said, I seen them old tweets of him tweeting him being a Heat fan. So it's like he knows that culture, and he's not going to let them down. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's going to go there, and he know they need that piece. So
And according to, hold on one second. According to the BTW, Keith Bartran's channel, I heard over there that Terry Rozier has a house in Miami, and this is where he resides. So what better fit than be at home?
I can't believe that Charlotte took on all that money though.
They got
Why?
to you,
Why?
but the
Wait, why is
CBA
it so hard
got
for you to
spend it.
believe?
That's what they do. They did it with Gordon Hayward.
No. The reason why it is mainly because especially how they was talking this off season.
Mm-hmm.
Now to do a move like this, like this is rebuild. So if he was gonna do rebuild,
Well,
not
Evan
and this is
Fournier,
what
Quentin Grimes,
this
and some picks is coming to Charlotte for the Knicks. All right,
Wait,
and you want Kyle Lowry.
this is what me and Purple was alluding to. If you're gonna do a rebuild, do the rebuild and just start the procedure now and get surgical with it, rather than like have the blowouts that we had to have in order to do these type of deconstructions.
Kyle Lowry won't even be in uniform.
But we all knew it was coming because look, Gordon Hayward contract is up at the end of the season. We all knew all of this was coming. We've been saying this for the longest.
Okay, let me say this.
Okay.
The Hornets trade in Terry Rozier in exchange for Kyle Lowry, who I'm gonna check his contract real quick to check, but I don't think his contract is
more.
that steep. I don't think it's I don't think it's that steep, especially when at least you get some type of role if he stays, and 9 out of 10 he's not going to stay, and you can be able to trade him for more asset. Really, to tell you the truth, they traded for Kyle Lowry, not for Kyle Lowry, but for that first round pick that came with Kyle Lowry. They wanted that.
Yeah, because the Hornets need picks. That's a good point, Casual. Now, how many isn't Kyle Lowry? Isn't his contract is falling off or what?
I'm gonna check right now. That's what I'm checking right now.
Because that's crucial right there.
I
think he got 2 years. I think he got one and one more after the end of it.
I'm checking right now. It's a 3 year. He's due 20, 26, 28, 29. 9 out of 10, I think. Oh no,
He only got 2 years, right? Shout out to Hoop Jargon.
No, this is last year. This is last year.
Yeah, he's on the same contract as Lonzo Ball. Him and Lonzo Ball got the exact same contract, basically.
So
Kyle Lowry is off the books next year. He's off the books next year.
That's what I'm saying. He's off the books.
You know what they're about to do?
And Gordon Hayward's off the books too.
I think they're either gonna hold him or they're gonna buy. They're gonna buy out his.
That would mean they pick Miles Bridges. Then I would think.
I think Kyle Lowry's going in the buyout market, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And Miles Bridges, they're gonna pay Miles. They're gonna pay Miles, and they're gonna try to see what they're gonna get out of Gordon. I mean,
they need to let Miles go.
I'm Brandon Miller.
Don't fight. Because
I
if
want
they get
Miles' ass out. I want PJ out. I want them to clean house. I want to
Well,
wake
where you
up
want Miles to
and
go,
What are you
Flight?
going to get? What are you going to get? What are you going to get in
listen.
replacement of what
Yeah, I don't
Miles
think you're gonna
He
get
Bridges
said
nothing
he
for
want
Listen,
Miles
everybody
let me
out.
nor
tell you a
PJ.
story. Let me tell you a story, and then we got to get the hoop jargon. I
Hey,
remember
Flight trying
as
to
a Knick.
sweep out the closet.
No, I remember when I was a Knicks fan, I was trying to figure out what the hell Phil Jackson was doing when he traded J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert for nothing, for two second-round picks and 2 trade exceptions. Sometimes you guys got to clean house. You know, you figure out everything else after. I was trying to figure out
Right.
how they
So,
gonna get the
so
scoring. They
I'm
just gave away.
and
asking.
that was a
So just let
stupid
these 2
deal
guys
too,
walk.
man.
Just do the same thing. Trade these motherfuckers for nothing. If they ain't gonna get shit, get them out, and then
I
just
say
figure
get Kyle
everything out
Lowry to
from
New
there.
York, Flight.
Do whatever you got to do.
If you
Get
gonna
Quentin
pair,
Grimes and Charlotte.
okay,
that's
before Hoop Jargon
Quentin
go,
Grimes
hold
and
on, we're gonna let
Charlotte. I'm
Hoop
with
Jargon
that. Let me
breathe,
get
right?
Kyle
Hoop
Lowry.
John got limited time. He got
Okay,
limited
hold
time.
on 1 second, Hoop Jargon. Let me give that Belize real quick. Belize, if you get Kyle Lowry, who you gonna pair him with, and who leaves?
I'm giving up Grimes, and I'm giving up some picks, and I'm using him as my backup for Brunson.
Okay, gotcha.
The Grimes
Shout
would
out
be
to Hoop
perfect
Jargon,
with Charlotte. He'd be perfect
one of
with
the best
Charlotte.
who
Hoop
ever
John,
do it.
what's good, man? We have
what's
breaking
up.
news today in the
Evan
NBA.
Fournier too. His contract is up.
Hoop jogging, yeah.
What up? What up?
He's good. My bad, man. Listen, we appreciate you for stopping by. We have breaking news in the NBA today. You see what's going on. We had the trade with Terry Rozier. He's headed to South Beach for a first-round pick, and also Kyle Lowry.
Bailey, can you hear me?
What was your thoughts on this trade? What does this mean for the Hornets, or what does this mean for Lamelo Ball? Talk to us.
Man, you know, it's funny. Me and DJ talked about 30 minutes for this trade this morning on my way to work. And this is kind of like if you've been a Charlotte Hornets / LaMelo fan, this is kind of what you've been wanting the whole time.
Preach.
Undersized, you know, bridge, tweener players, that's not going to mesh well with LaMelo Ball. I've been saying it from day one. I'm like, I don't like these small guys they bring in to try to bring in as a scoring supplement. Basically, is what Terry Rozier is. That's what he's always been.
True.
When they try to stick him to be the point guard in Boston, what happened? Like, yeah, you out here, buddy. First thing smoking. And not to say that he didn't deserve the minutes, because you know he's playing under Isaiah Thomas, the baby Isaiah Thomas. You know, he came in and played well. But then when it's time to get Kyrie, like, oh, damn that. Let's get him out of here. So Terry Rozier is a bridge player. So he came in to kind of shore up that scoring a little bit in the front court. And, you know, I wasn't a fan, but, you know, there's lots of people, I guess the room could be split on Terry Rozier. But he don't play defense, and he's too small. And he shoot too much. I don't – that's just a match made in hell for me, personally.
So Hoop Jargon, go ahead.
Yep.
Now I want to ask you, so Hoop Jargon, where do the Charlotte goes from here, and do Terry fare well in Miami now?
Yes, I mean, because Terry is a scorer. Miami has culture. They have defense. They have everything. They just need guys who are going to be on the floor. Kyle Lowry, I mean, listen, I'm a big fan of true point guards. Kyle Lowry is about to be 38 years old, man. Like, he just can't give you the same no more, man. Like, he had a good run. He had a good run. So now you're actually trying to make another championship run. Because in Miami's, if I'm Miami, I think I still got about a 3-year window with Jimmy Butler. Probably closer to 2, but I think I still have a 3-year window. But this year is crucial. The Bucks lost their coach, so they got a little discordism, perhaps. You know, this is a winnable year because you got on the West, you got an unproven Minnesota at the top of the league, right?
Exactly.
So this is your year to make a run. So with that being said, he brings in instant scoring, like reliable scoring, and like, you know, just veteran leadership that Kyle Lowry body just won't give him anymore. So I think that's why they make that trade.
Now, do Kyle Lowry, do he actually get in a Hornets uniform and get on the hardwood for the Hornets, or he gets bought out?
Pause. I don't see it.
Pause. Yeah, okay, hardwood. Yeah, pause.
No, I don't see a point.
Thank you for that, bro. I appreciate that pause, bro. That was in New York.
Good catch. Yeah, that was
I wanted to say something, but I was pulling at the same time. Pause. So I had to just wait.
But no, it's like, what's the point of him playing there? Like, unless he just, unless the buyout market does not want Kyle Lowry, I don't see a point of him playing. Now, if a few veteran teams say, hey, we'll take him, for the veterans minimum. Then yeah, but I think a lot of teams would take him for his temporary services. But unless he just decide, no, I want to play with this kid, I want to play out this year in Charlotte, which I just don't see why he would. I see him going on the buyout market for sure.
I mean, he got to be devastated right now, Kyle Lowry. He's probably drowning in his tears, right?
What about this?
Crying
What about
a
this?
river of tears.
I got one for you. I got one for you. I got one for y'all.
What you got?
The buyout. We get a reunion in Chicago. Kyle Lowry to Chicago. Lonzo still hurt. Chicago playing good ball right now.
Chicago don't had their merry-go-round celebration with guards trying to come in and out.
But I'm saying this is like the end of the season run.
Journey that Charlotte already on. They don't know.
I mean, man, Chicago and their
Can I
guards.
ask, well, this is a question for everybody that been keeping up, but specifically for Hoop Jargon. With them possibly having a top 5 or just in general a lottery pick this year, who, if anybody, if you've been keeping up with the college season this far, because we know it's not no stars in this draft, but who do you think they should get?
Caitlin Clark.
You know what? I have not been paying attention a lot. The kid I like is Rob Dillingham, but I don't know if that meshes with LaMelo with his stature. So
I know exactly who Rob Dillingham is. Shout out, yo, listen, man. We put out some videos on him early. We
was one of the first ones on him.
Shout out
What
Rob
about Caitlin Clark?
Dillingham.
Nobody don't think Caitlin Clark can play on the Hornets.
Who? Say the name again.
Caitlin Clark.
No.
Caitlin Clark.
I thought that's what you said.
Boy, you stupid as hell, boy.
I just
Purple said
like,
no.
Did he say who I think he said?
Purple said no.
So wait, are we in on Bronny coming in this year or not?
Hell no.
Bronny not coming in this year? He gonna wait till next season?
Man, Bronny averaging 6 points a game, bro.
You don't think he gonna make the league though?
LeBron got to do some more talking.
No, Bronny is shooting 25%. Listen. I'm not trying to hit on this young man, but you averaging 6 points per game, averaging 19 minutes a game, putting up 25% from 3 and 36% from the field. Come on, bro. All
right, how about this one? Do he stay? All right, he stay in college one more season, and he play with Bryce next season. How about that?
I like that. I love that actually. I think Bryce is gonna be really good. And it's just something like him and his brother play off each other. I think that's a good look. Like LeBron, LeBron be setting Bronny up. Talking about he good enough for the league right now. Like, no, come on, bro. You
I
better
agree.
good enough to start for
I stay
USC.
one more year in college, and you try.
Bronny ain't been the same since he stopped smoking.
I think Bronny needs. I think Bronny needs
all 4.
I think he needs
all
2
4
more
years.
Yeah, I think he needs at minimum 2 more years after this year.
Yeah,
I think the next year he'll get more minutes and he can get more acquainted to running a point guard like efficiently, and then that last year can be like his coming out.
They got Isaiah Collier.
He's just not a point guard though.
I don't like Isaiah Collier, or have you said his name?
I think if he's not a point guard, he needs to get reps at the point guard spot, because coming into the league, them days of having 6'4" shooting guards, them days is gone.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you who he looked like, but worse. Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers had that little tweener body. You didn't know where he was gonna go. Well,
Austin Rivers was good in college, though.
No. I'm saying worse though. But I'm saying people thought he would go to the NBA and be a point guard. Like, no, he's not a point guard. He got point guard.
Yes,
he got point guard skills.
Oh my God, Theo's in the chat.
He's not a guy who's gonna lead your team at point guard, because he spent a lot of time being a tweener. That's when he kind of found his niche.
No, Austin Rivers found his niche as a scoring point guard, like as being a point guard.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, Bronny James being like Austin Reeves in the sense that he's not a straight facilitating point guard, or what some people call a traditional point guard. Yeah, no, he's absolutely.
That's exactly what I'm
that.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's absolutely not that.
You can't learn to be that. And the person who I've seen come the closest, I would say Russell Westbrook. You guys remember he never played point guard in his life until the NBA. Never in his life. Mm-hmm. And listen, y'all know, if y'all follow my channel, y'all know I do not like Russell Westbrook, but I gotta give him credit. If I've seen anybody kind of turn over to try to be a point guard and do it at a pretty high level, I gotta give him his props.
LaMelo's doing it now too, though. I ain't gonna lie. LaMelo to me, he's a shooting guard, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't like him at point guard.
Okay,
I
yeah, we're
would
just
say
chatting. We're just chatting.
LeVar did say LaMelo plays point guard out of necessity. Do your homework.
Yeah, that's right.
Nah, I
That's
personally think he's a better shooting guard. I feel that's why I say if Kyle Lowry was to lace him up, I would like to see Kyle Lowry be the starting point guard and LaMelo go shooting guard just to see how it would look. Because when LaMelo
They
did
don't
play
need
with
no Kyle
Isaiah
Lowry
Thomas,
for that.
when Isaiah Thomas played with LaMelo on the Hornets, I liked how they played together. And even Isaiah Thomas said that
Listen,
like he liked to play.
listen, Belize, you know I love you like a brother, but they don't need no more moon dust on the Charlotte Hornets. Get
No, I
all them
felt that too. I
old
felt that
actors
too. I
up out of
understand.
there. Let Nick Smith Jr. and all them youngsters get up there and just run like gazelles on that court, man.
I just
Kyle
like
Lowry
LaMelo
need
at point, man. I like LaMelo at point. I mean,
Kyle Lowry don't need to be nowhere near. But hoop jargon. Listen, we need your opinion on Adrian Griffin and who needs to come in his footsteps.
Oh, that was
Man,
crazy.
yeah, that's a
was
crazy
shocking.
backstory. That one. That's a very crazy backstory. Man, listen, you know the name Doc Rivers always gonna come up. My only problem with Doc is, listen, man, that dude can't get it done, man. When it comes down to these series,
How you feel about?
He got it done. He got it done.
Wait, how you feel? How you feel about
he got it done
Dame
once.
Okoch?
2008. That was damn near 20 years ago.
Yeah, he got it done
But
once.
he got it done though. But he got it done.
Oh
What
yeah,
about
he got
Dame
it done
Okoch?
when he wasn't old and senile. Like, what are we talking about here?
He's blown many 3-1s since then.
Yeah.
He's blown many 3-1s since then.
Maybe the
He
most, right?
been winning in Vegas, guys. Y'all gotta chill out. He been winning in Vegas. He ain't tripping.
Man, so I don't know. So I think Doc Rivers, who was even available?
I really think that guy Terry Scott. I think that's the guy.
Man, that's an old name. Terry
to
Scott
my
still doing
knowledge,
it? Damn.
He was just the assistant coach over there, man. I think they might bring him back in. Him and Dame, I feel like they could just run it for the end of the season. At least see they in a good seedings.
So
He got
they
offense,
still don't
at
have.
least.
I thought they said they hired Doc.
He said his name been brought up. I don't think they hired him yet.
Let me see.
Yeah, go check. Go check. Go get the info. You know, just like Sports TV. Get the info.
Let me
Yeah, I
check
just-
Woj and them.
More
tweets.
info, less speculation.
I
Or
like just
Bleacher
going with the
Report.
assistant as an interim man.
No, they said Doc is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Look at Magic
I mean,
Johnson.
things might have changed, Gemini. You know, things change fast.
Stop.
Got to refresh that screen.
Doc Rivers, by all accounts, they said is the front runner for the job. But the other names, boy, I'm not even gonna lie to you, they seem like better opportunities. Nate McMillan has not been hired yet.
Yeah,
That's a better name. That's a better name.
If our defense needed to get a boost, you at least get up to like top 15.
Who's the assistant coach is my question.
And wasn't Nate somebody?
Somebody we never heard of.
Joe Prunty. Joe Prunty is the assistant coach.
That's tough throwing a new guy in February. That's tough.
No, it's tough. But Joe Prunty did that not last year. The year that they fired Jason Kidd, he was the interim head coach for the duration of that season as well. So he's not foreign to this situation.
Yeah, but this is a different Milwaukee Bucks team and different expectation than what Jason Kidd had it.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm saying nobody's going to have the expectations for Joe Prunty to end up having us have a winning record when he's not even going to be the head coach that they're looking for. Like, he's just an interim head coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to put those title expectations on him specifically.
No. Now, hoop jargon. If the Milwaukee Bucks hired Doc Rivers, what kind of changes you expect?
Shit. What can he make this late in the season?
And Terry Stotts' name is also on this.
Trying to get hoop jargon on the record, man.
I mean, Doc Rivers going see he has the propensity to not get the best out of his best players.
Thank you.
Especially when these deep playoff moments come. Joel Embiid, anybody? Chris Paul, anybody? Blake Griffin, anybody?
Ben Simmons.
Come on, we can keep going with the names. I don't expect much of anything out of them. I think that they're going to be high confidence. I think that they're going to like the team camaraderie. I've never seen no real disgruntled Doc Rivers team until they get their ass kicked out the playoffs.
Wiped in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Like I never really hear nobody talking shade about him, during the season. So I expect pretty much the same. Defensive, like scratching your head. Offensively, I think they'll be fine. Doc Rivers is good at offense. And then when it's time to cut nuts, you're going to be catching nails and letdowns. That's all I see.
So there you have it, casual. You guys are sinking. You guys going to sink.
Okay. We're going to stink is crazy. No, I think I agree with him. I don't think Doc Rivers ultimately fails to make adjustments in the postseason. So that's why that's the part that concerns me. But one thing I will say is there is something to be said about championship DNA. Brook Lopez and Giannis and Bobby Portis and Chris Middleton have been there before, and Dame has showed when put into position for him to be clutch, he's able to do so. And so I think that as much as Doc Rivers can be a negative as far as not making adjustments, he may not have to make that many adjustments if he just puts the players in the right position for them to, be able to do their job. Because by all accounts, we have the right pieces we should be able to beat the Boston Celtics. If there was ever a team,
do you guys have a big three, casual?
Do we have a big three?
Yes.
No. I mean, if you want to call Brook Lopez,
and that's why I don't think y'all gonna beat Boston. That's the only reason why I don't think y'all gonna beat
Boston barely has a big three.
This is true too.
Technically has a big four.
They have a mediocre four. That's what they have. They have a mediocre four. Full of mid niggas. In every tier, think about it. In every tier that you think that they're at, they're mid in that tier. Like everybody looks at Jason Tatum as a borderline superstar. He's mid in that tier compared to everybody else. Jalen.
I just think he's playing the wrong position.
I don't know about that one.
I don't think he's a power forward.
Jason Tatum, as far by all accounts, is mid, especially when it comes to postseason success.
Okay, Gemini, who's their big four? Who's the big four, Gemini?
Unicorn, Brown, Tatum, and Holiday.
Great. Okay. So all mid players. Mid players.
No, it's not all mid, but it's
he's a Milwaukee fan.
It's 3 out of 4.
Hoop jargon.
Huh?
Hoop jargon. He's a Milwaukee fan, so you got to excuse him a little bit.
Drew played for me. That's
he's just a little better than. He's just a little upgrade than Marquez.
Okay.
Let me not a little upgrade there, being shady. I got a question. Should Boston, or should they not, if they don't get it accomplished this season, should they break it up or should they give it another try?
Yes.
I think they should break it
blow it up.
Listen. Why they should break it up, casual? Come on, casual. Now you're being subjective. Why they should break it up?
That's not a Bucks fan bias for me saying that. That's me rooting for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to figure it out for years now, and they've been put in multiple positions for them to have advantageous situations, by the way, and they failed on numerous occasions. They were the better team in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they got smoked by the Heat for 3 straight games, to where it really shouldn't have been them coming back 0-3.
Boston won 3 straight games also.
But Dex, also to back up what he's saying, you do realize Brown and Tatum both started off as guards, right? So then Boston was running a double shooting guard situation. Then they actually
where was Tatum a guard?
Small forward.
When was Tatum a guard?
They was actually running a double shooting.
Show when the guard at Duke.
I'm talking about NBA. Why do you do that, Dex? I'm talking.
When
NBA.
was he a guard? I don't recall. When was Jason Tatum a guard?
I'm telling you what they was doing at Boston. They was running
6'9"
guard. Yes, they was running a double guard system. That's what they was running. Pay attention to their games. I know you don't watch Boston games, and that's fine. I do. I watch NBA games. They was running a double guard system, just like right now. Tatum is not a power forward. and they're trying it for a fourth time.
See,
With
this
them
is where
in
you get me at. So what is he listed as?
how?
NBA official roster, what is he listed at in draft
You telling
when he
me?
was drafted?
Wait. Wait a freaking minute. You're telling me with hoop jogging on this
Dexter's just
live
trying to piss you
that
off. Stop
Jason
letting him.
Tatum is a power forward? You're telling me with all the basketball
I'm saying
knowledge
he's a
that you
forward.
have, no, stop it.
He ain't no guard.
I told you the system that they was running. Then they went to running a double small forward system. Then they just switched them all and say, hey, Brown, you're going to run a shooting guard only. Then Tatum, you're going to run a small forward only.
Okay, but Gemini, hold on one second.
Okay,
I
what
know
you
this
got?
not 2K. But far as I remember, since Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown been on Boston Celtics, they had Kyrie, they had Terry Rozier, they had Kemba Walker, and they had Marcus
I'm
Smart.
telling you the
So when was they
system that
running
they was
a
running.
two-guard offense with Jason Tatum?
That's the system they was
Well,
running.
okay. Can I just basically what me and him are trying to tell you is that in the case of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and every year that they've been in the league together, they've had multiple seasons where they were the most talented team, if not a top 3 talented team.
They ain't got nothing to do with a two-guard offense with you and him trying to tell me.
Well, okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm telling you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I'm telling you that when it comes to those two, how many situations can we put you in that are to pull out the best in you, and we still don't get the result we want, which is win a championship? Like, how many times do we have to find that result before we finally say, nope, it's not Kyrie. Nope, it wasn't Gordon Hayward. Nope, it wasn't Terry.
It's not Isaiah.
Nope, it wasn't. Nope, it wasn't. Yeah, nope, it wasn't Isaiah. No, it's you guys. How many times do we
What you say on that hoop jargon? Hoop jargon is the best basketball mind to me. What you say about that hoop jargon?
That is a crazy ass light to be in.
My whole thing is how do you how old are they for us to throw the baby out the bathwater?
Jason Tatum, I can tell you if you give me 1 second, I can tell you. Tatum is Tatum is 25.
I'm not throwing the baby.
Tatum is
I'm not
25
throwing the
and
baby.
Jaylen Brown is 20. I would like to think he's probably 27 because I think he came into the league in 2015. Yeah, he's 27.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I just not too many teams that's going like because if we give it a full scope, I mean, this team was in the finals 2 years ago.
Right.
You can't just because 2 years of like not getting to the finals, it's time to get rid of 2 guys on the 30. It just doesn't happen. Now, can you probably get rid of one because you have something else that you can pair with it? Okay, I'll listen to that theory. But as far as blowing it up just to be blowing it up, there's not many GMs that's just going to do that because it just don't make no sense.
I don't think you blow. I don't think you trade both of them, but I do think obviously Jason Tatum is the better player. So I think what you would do is because to be fair to them, I just think that their games just don't match each other. I'm hearing something.
I'll entertain that.
Do y'all hear that?
I'll entertain that.
Yeah, I just don't think their games don't mesh because both of them aren't spectacular playmakers. So they're essentially creating for themselves, not creating for one another. So the game just doesn't mesh well together. And so I think if this doesn't work, you blow it up in the sense of you probably look for suitors for Jaylen Brown's contract and you bring in a player that can best capitalize on Jason Tatum's strengths. And then we go from there and we figure out what's the next step there. Because around this time, Jason Tatum should be entering into his prime of, his best self for multiple years. So you have time for you to be able to figure out what team best, or what the best version of Jason Tatum looks like with a team built around him specifically. But as far as these two, they've had from 2019 all the way up to now. So they've had about 5 years of this experiment, and they've been given each and every possible way that you could slice it, an opportunity for these two to be the two stars that headline a championship team, and they don't get it done for whatever reason. That is alarming. So if they don't get it done at this point, where I think we all agree that talent-wise, the Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA, they don't get it done this year, you blow it up.
Casual, you kind of double talking there. Because one time you said they had a mid-4, but now you're saying they're the best team in the
I said
NBA.
they have a mid-4, but as a team or totality, I mean, it's hard to deny having Derek White, Al Horford, and
Top to bottom. You're talking about top to bottom. Okay.
Yeah, top to bottom
I got you.
Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Kristaps
I got you top to bottom. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gemini, that's your mic cracking right now. If you please step outside your straw hut, you might get better reception under the stars.
Man, I'm at the house and my mic don't never crack. That's a blue parrot.
I think that's perfect.
No, it's Gemini. I just paused them and it stopped. See? It stopped. That's Gemini mic. I'm looking at it right here.
Man, that's crazy.
Now
I'll go out. I'll go out and come back in. I'll go out and come back in.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think that at its core, at its core, I agree with Casual with that. Like, I agree with the fact that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown ain't the greatest idea. Play too much of the same, and one of which, and the analogy I used 2 years ago was like, you got a high-end Mercedes and potentially a Ferrari, and you're basically not telling the Ferrari here, i.e., Jaylen Brown don't think that he's worse. God damn it, he don't think he's worse than Jason Tatum. So
I agree with that.
So there's no leadership because when you basically go, when you don't set a pecking order, then you got discordism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like each one don't know when it's time to get it going. Again, their games are too similar. And it doesn't lead to you being able to impose your will on guys deep in playoff series against certain matchups. So I'm with you on that. My whole thing is, what do you have better?
That's the dilemma that people gotta like. You're never gonna get the value of a player of the caliber of Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, whichever one you would move on for, right? So you're not gonna get the equal. It's never gonna be equal to their value that they have individually. But what you can do is try to get something as close, or you can try to get something that has equal, like that not equal, but has a leverage of its own, to where you can be able to try to swing this into some form of beneficial like value that you could be able to have down the line.
I think the word you're trying to say is impact. You're trying to say impact.
Not impact, because I'm not talking about just players. I'm talking about you. If you traded Jaylen Brown and you got a player that's lesser than Jaylen Brown, well, give me draft assets. I could be able to later down the line, if there's a disgruntled star or something like that, I could be able to trade that player that's playing, let's say he's playing at a high level, along with those draft picks that I got from you for said player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Boston's not trying to do that right now. They're not trying to get young. Boston's trying to go for it.
No, not getting young. I'm saying you want to get a player like I'm trying to think of a player. Let's say Brandon Ingram is on the board, right? Let's say Brandon Ingram's on the board. And you trade Brandon Ingram is not of Jason Tatum's caliber, right? But let's say you choose to ride with Jaylen Brown. Not saying they are, but just ride with me on this hypothetical. And they trade Jason Tatum for Brandon Ingram with a shit ton of draft assets. And then Anthony Davis gets disgruntled because the Lakers are finally losing. Now you can get Anthony Davis right now. All you gotta do is
stop.
That's a whole bunch of uncontrollables.
No, but what I'm saying, that's
He's trying to get Milwaukee up to the top by any means necessary.
Huh?
That's a lot of uncontrollable variable, bro.
What I'm saying is you are not going to get the same value for that player. But what you can do is try to get something that can be bigger value down the line.
Well, okay, I can try with that a little bit. But my bigger point is you may not get the value, but you get something that is a dynamic that changes with your team, or you can go less is more. Example, 76ers getting rid of James Harden and arguably getting better by letting Maxey play more, letting Maxey facilitate more, let him do his thing more with Joel Embiid. So you built that team by subtraction. So you don't go look for another James Harden. You go look for someone that's going to better suit what you have at your core. That's kind of what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
No, I get your side. I get your side.
Yeah. But there's nobody behind Jason Tatum, right? There's
It really
nobody
just comes
behind
down
him
to
that can give you that caliber of play. That's why I think he inserted Brandon Ingram.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
it
that's
just
what I'm
comes down
saying.
to how
What's
I
out
think
there
it
is
just
my
comes down.
question.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to how like the way you view their dynamic as to whether you. Well, first off, it depends on how much value do you think Jaylen Brown has. That's the first I think disconnect we have, because I don't think Jaylen Brown has as much value as other people may think, especially with the contract he has. He's getting paid max, and we all understand he is not a max
$300
player.
million, right? He got the most lucrative
Mm-hmm.
contract.
Exactly, and he is not a max player. So if this doesn't work and Jaylen Brown is to be moved, you're not getting the value of a max player for Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown ain't even good enough for the contract he's on. So you have to
Interesting.
accept that. You have to accept that one, but then you have to also understand the dynamic of the roster that you have. Once you get off of Jaylen Brown, you need to bring in somebody that's going to be able to give some type of playmaking ability to like a much more consistent level. Because I hate to break it to everybody, I love Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is not the playmaker that people were trying to push him out to be. He's just not. And you could tell with this Boston Celtics offense, the facilitating it's not there on a consistent basis. And even
Why
with
you
Derek
want to
White,
throw
it's not
Drew
there.
Holiday away when he gave you a championship? You
No, I'm
couldn't
not
get over the
saying
hump
no,
until you got him.
I'm not saying throw Drew Holiday. I'm saying you need, when you trade Jaylen Brown, the person you bring in needs to have that playmaking value, because you're not getting it elsewhere, not on a consistent basis. That's what I'm
But
saying.
isn't Jaylen Brown a two-way player?
Yes,
And Jason Tatum's not.
Jason Tatum definitely is.
Oh, Jason Tatum's a two-way player?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I thought his defense was really suspect.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. No.
Okay.
Actually, I'd say Jaylen Brown's defense is more suspect than Jason Tatum's.
Oh, no. No. Jaylen Brown been all defensive player. He's been
and
first team.
so is Jason Tatum.
Hasn't he been a first team all defense before?
I'll check
I
real
know
quick.
he's been all NBA defense.
No, he has not been all NBA defense at all.
No, not even three.
No.
You sure?
No, but Jason Tatum has.
All defense?
I'm checking
I
real
know
quick
he's
to
been
make
all
sure. I'm
NBA.
gonna tell you the year. Give me 1 second.
I know
Oh, no.
Jason Tatum been all NBA. I know that. He's
No,
been
I'm
first
sorry.
team all NBA.
Neither one of them has been all defense.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, I could have sworn Jaylen Brown was the one or two or three third team all defense.
No, Jaylen Brown's problem is his off-ball defense. He got ADHD or some shit, because he loses. He gets lost sometimes.
Gemini, I did let you in. You was in and then you felt. Oh, you're in. Okay, you're in.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So Purple got her mic mute. Purple, these are the conversations that you need to be more involved in.
Yes.
Because sometimes your Hornet takes are way off.
Y'all gonna stop bullying my girl.
I don't know about that, Dex. Like you saying that, I disagree with you on that one. But
Man,
I do
Purple
want to
Baby
hear
get
more
punched
from
out on
Perp.
her Hornet takes. She gets punched out a lot on her Hornet takes.
I do want to hear from Perp more. I like
But
her
her mic's on
takes.
mute, so she probably got something going on in the background. But now, does this Miami Heat trade with the Charlotte Hornets swing the pendulum of power down the South Beach?
No.
I don't think it swings it, but it gives it a little bit more of a nudge, because they have someone that they could actually count on effectively, where Lowry, they did not have that.
I think I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think it doesn't change anything, because I still think Philly, Milwaukee, Boston are just better. But I think it solidified them as the fourth best team. I think they're better than Cleveland. I think they're better than New York, and they're better than
yes.
They're better than Atlanta. Any other team that you're thinking of, they're better than. That being said, though, my concern for the Heat is the tandem of Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero. Because if you've been watching Tyler Hero does Terry Rozier things with the ball. They operate around the screen similar. They both are create their shots mainly on the perimeter identically. The only difference is Terry Rozier is 6'2" and Tyler Hero 6'5". So that my concern is, does their talents become a tad redundant? I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem because Eric Spoelstra is the best head coach in NBA, but it is a concern from the standpoint of if both of them are on the floor, that your turn, my turn is going to be a little nasty between those two.
Mm-hmm. So overall, I think the lack there of scoring punch that Miami was requiring, I
Mm-hmm.
think they acquired it. But Terry also is going to have to get used to practicing hard. Like that's the overall difference with
Facts.
Miami.
Yep.
Miami practice harder than they play in games. Like that people don't really understand that, and that's fine. But they will know, like, mouth guards, knee pads, elbow pads is all required for Miami Heat practices. Like, it's sad that players literally come out and say that they was given that for their first day of practice, and they telling the equipment guy, "Oh, I don't need that." Until they get to practice and like, hey, bro, where's that stuff you went to give me? Yeah, I'll be back.
Nah, it's gonna be an adjustment, but
But for Terry, I don't think it's going to be a big adjustment. That's the only thing. I the I think it will be a small adjustment because Miami will have to learn how to hide his flaws because he's a new addition only. But Mike Lowry had the similar flaws, so it won't be that hard, if that kind of makes sense.
yeah.
But I think Terry is going to try to stay, like, the lack there of defense that Terry has been playing. I think that's going to go away. I think you're really going to see a defensive minded more Terry Rozier. I really do think you're going to see that.
So you saying the leopard can change his spots?
I think it's going to change a little bit. I honestly do. I honestly do. Now, do I think it's going to change in the Doves? That's yet to be seen. But do I think it's going to be some change? Yes. Do I think it's going to be a change for a better? Yes. Because now he he's going to a team, one, where he respects the GM. Number two, he I think he has respect for the coach. He's going with two all stars that I already know he respects, shooters around him that I think he will be able to trust. So you will see a little bit better decision and play making out of him. I think you will see it, but I don't think you're going to see it until about his 10th game as a Heat. I do not think it's going to come game one. I think it's going to at least take him 10 games to kind of get intertwined, and then it's going to start rolling.
That's a good point. You made a lot of good points there, and I agree. I agree. I think Terry's going to be scary all over again.
Now, also when Butler, as some people say, he take his breaks. Now he has that player that say, "Go ahead, take your coffee break. I got you."
He'd be relieved. He'd be like happy. Yeah, you want to take a break?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Get a chance to put up some shots.
and then right behind that you got Jaquez. Then right behind that you got Jovic. Then we all know about Bam. Then you still have your shooters.
Yeah.
So they are still set up for a deep playoff run. And if you honestly look at it, they have two players that they haven't given a lot of shine to, but they're still on the team, and that's Thomas Bryant and Orlando Robinson. So they still have like big men, big bodies that they could throw at a team.
My main problem when it comes to the Heat is not my main problem because I think that any flaw that they have is just ultimately gonna get masqueraded with the fact that they have the best coach in the NBA. So like that, I'll start by saying that. But the problem that I have with them going up against the Bucks this year, as opposed to the Bucks from last year, if you remember last year, the Bucks, even with Mike Budenholzer not making the adjustments that was required, a lot of those
Mm.
games that they lost came down into the clutch, and it mostly because they were getting severely outcoached, and they didn't have the offensive personnel to persevere through the lack of adjustments that Mike Budenholzer was making. This year, they have arguably the second most prolific perimeter shooter in the NBA in Dame. And
Okay.
so having that difference makes a big difference when you're going up against the Miami Heat. And I don't think Terry Rozier is big enough of a player as far as impact wise to change that outcome. And then when it comes to Philly, I think that they still are like closer than people want to give them respect for. But if Joel Embiid's facilitating ability is for real, and he going to the postseason doing what he's doing this year and with these DHOs, yeah, the 76ers are handling Miami in probably like 5-6 games.
I
And then
I think Miami can give them a real good game. Like I
absolutely,
honestly do. With what they was able to get with Terry. Now the only problem that I had with Terry as a Hornet, it was his shot selection. The same problem I have
Yeah.
with D'Lo. It
Yep.
is his shot selection.
hmm
But I will say this: he kind of had to take those shots as a Hornet because he really didn't have shooters. But he's going to a team now. He has shooters, so and rebounders. So he knows now he has to take a more basketball IQ shot. Terry does have a basketball IQ, so let's not get that part twisted. Like I can't take a dump on what I have seen this man do on the court. I just don't like how the Hornets didn't build around him and ball together. Like if
He's
anything,
a
I could
shorty. That's
honestly,
why.
huh?
Right.
He's a shorty.
He's a shorty.
Yeah, he's like 6'1".
what does that mean?
Even with him being 6'1", hell, Isaiah was shorter than him and
And
was
Jalen
Yeah,
pimping the
Brunson
league.
and
but
Jalen Brunson
Isaiah
was
was a
6'1".
sharpshooter. What Zeke are you talking about? You talking about it or Zeke?
It
But it was a sharpshooter though. I mean, this guy was shooting over 50% from jump shooting.
Yeah, but he was what on defense?
Oh, he was
Oh, he
definitely a
was terrible.
liability.
All right then.
No, but you gotta
All right then.
but you also gotta remember they didn't build that around IT. IT came into that situation. It was just a
He
match
came
made
into
in
that
heaven.
situation,
Yeah, it was a match made in heaven.
he took it
Took
and made
advantage.
it a
Yeah,
match
he took
made
it and
in heaven.
he took it and ran with it. In the case of Terry Rozier, he came into a situation that, let's be honest, they gave him that money because they were a bad franchise and they really just needed they
Exactly,
just need somebody to sell
exactly.
tickets.
But the
And so
but the Haywood contract was like
yeah, that was
and
a big head scratcher.
I'm I, I- I'm not saying like the like overall. I'm saying the Hornets wasn't building. To me, it didn't seem like they was building for a future. And that's just the way I feel. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I feel that
That
Jordan
that
was
might be
using this
fact. It
as
might
a,
be more than
it,
opinion. That might be fact.
it could be, but I feel Jordan was using them as a tax write-off. So I mean,
Mhm.
it but that's just my humble opinion. But I will say this now. Terry knows he's going to a team with players that he can trust because why? They have proven what they are able to do without him. So he has to come in now and fit. He knows now he can't put up all those dumb shots that he was putting up before.
I think
Like
I,
he
I
knows
I agree
that.
with you. I think he's got to know coming into Miami, the shit you were getting away with in Charlotte, that's not flying over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think he has to know that. At the same time, I think Miami knows Terry Rozier at this point in his career who he is as a player. He is a streaky scorer, streaky shooter. He's a
Right.
score first guard. He's not going to come in on no Kyle Lowry stuff to facilitate and be a veteran on the defensive end for them. He's not coming in for none of that. He's coming in as a scoring put, and that's really what he's going to with like a little bit of facilitating that time. That's what he's coming in with.
Uh,
Exactly.
I wanted to ask y'all this. Speaking of this,
Welcome back, baby.
I'm just uh now this is because I don't think it's an issue, but I want your thoughts on this, casual. What do
Oh, what's
you
up?
think of about like because at the end of the day we're not in team meetings or we don't meet individually with these coaches and stuff like that, and
For
we
sure,
can't
for sure.
be at every practice. But
Yeah.
I didn't heard like more and more players come out and say like what I was doing in college or what I was doing for this team in the NBA specifically or even in G League. By the time I got to this spot on the NBA roster or whatever, they're asking me to do something totally opposite of my skill set and what I'm good at.
Hmm.
Do you think that's right, or is it, because they say that's part of the business, and stuff like that. 'Cause
I think
it makes me think about like Terry and when Lamelo came in and whatever.
Oh,
You know,
so basically, which is funny that you asked this question because we talked about this yesterday, with
mhm,
the whole Buddy Hill situation.
Yeah.
mhm,
Um, like when you coming onto teams and stuff like that, especially like if you're not an established player in the NBA, you're
mhm.
coming into a position of where, to be honest with you, they don't know what you are at that time. They
Hmm.
can really tell you whatever they need you to be at that time, and and it's your responsibility for you to chameleonize your game into being whatever they ask of you. And that's I don't think that that's unfair of you. I don't think that's unfair of the team to ask of you, because I think that when it comes to basketball, just period, you're not going to get to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times do we go to rec, or do we go to rec leagues, or we go to the gym and we hoop and we want to go there and shoot all the shots, but unfortunately, we play with teammates that they want to get some shots too. So we have to be a little bit more on the distributing side, or we want to shoot all the shots, but our teammates have the hot hand, and so we're gonna have to pick up the slack on the defensive end.
I,
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be able to when
no,
it
no, no,
comes
no,
to
no.
like the
Casual.
NBA.
I don't think she's talking about that.
Wait, what?
I I
What?
I I don't think she's alluding to that. Like there, like there's some players. I'll use one that I know. Prime example, Cam Reddish, right?
Yeah.
Cam Cam is a shooting guard, right? He's known for attacking the rim and defense. The Lakers right now are trying to make him a spot up shooter. But when he first got to the Lakers, right?
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Did you cut out?
And which I
Oh,
think
okay, okay.
matches with purpose. He no, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no, I'm here. So then, then w- w- he's on the Lakers, right? He's a shooting guard. What they did was then they said,
No
"Well,
problem.
no, we're gonna have you." following tape and playing as a small forward, right? And asking you to do all the things that a small forward does. All right. But then when it comes to the game, they say, well, why you're not playing like a shooting guard? Not now this is the same coaching staff that trained him up and tried to change him into a small forward, right? So that's the change I think she's more alluding to, because that's the part that happens a lot in the NBA. And prime example, the Pelicans does that phenomenally.
Yeah, they did it with that's why I said we were talking about the what happened with Buddy Hield and how when he got drafted to the Pelicans, he was in Oklahoma, he was looked at as a flamethrower, right? Like he was a scorer. He comes to New Orleans and he's reduced to a shooter because the situation at hand didn't require him to be what he was in Oklahoma, but required for him to bring a piece of what he did in Oklahoma, which was shoot the ball at an elite level. And so he fast forward, he's gone to Sacramento, he's gone to the Pacers, and they never tried to unlock his shot creating side. They only wanted him to be a sharpshooter. And so, and that's why I say, and to your point, and what that does to the player, what that does to Buddy Hield on the flip side is he can't go there and demand for a bigger contract because the role that he was in, they're going to put him in that market of players. So if Duncan Robinson getting paid this much, well, this is how much your value is. You're not a max player. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't do much more than you did this. And so that's why I said I don't think that that's unfair, because I think that in basketball, that's often that's just in basketball period, that's required of the players. And so even if that messes with your money, or you think that that is a bigger role for yourself, or you think that you should have a bigger role because you know what your skill set is, you know what you do in the off season, you still are playing for a team that has proper pieces already in set that they took care of the parts of your game that you wish you had. Like Buddy Hield, he said in an interview, I want to say 2 years ago, he thought coming to the Pelicans, he was supposed to be the Kobe to Anthony Davis's Shaq. When in actuality, they hit him up and they said, "No, we got Drew Holiday for the ball handling responsibilities. No, we have Tyreke Evans for the shot creation. We just need you to come. We just need you to make everything here make sense. We need you to shoot. Just shoot.
Catch and shoot.
Exactly. You're just catching and shooting. We don't want you to pound the ball for more than 2 dribbles. We want you to get the ball. We want you to shoot." And so when you put it like that, yeah, it's a shitty reality, but at the same time, that's the name of the game. It's been that way, since beginning of time. You got to play your role and whatever's required of you at that moment.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting because I'm like, that can, if you really, because mid is disrespectful, but let's call it what it is. Especially with this upcoming draft class. I said, I see where I'm looking at it, I'm saying, well, they're good here. They can hone in on that. But what I see is the NBA in this upcoming draft is about to get a lot of these guys and say, well, we don't need you for this, but we could use you.
No, you absolutely right. You cooking perfectly going.
It's and I don't want to call it, because I think these guys are decent. I think it's a lot of good, decent role players in this draft that's coming up that can shoot. But I'm like, they ain't good at defense, or some of them ain't that good at rebounding. That's especially those that's playing in the front court. And I'm like, depending on what teams they going to, it's cool because it ain't no stars for real in this draft. But I'm like, they about to have a ball. Teams that have a good development system, like OKC, the Pelicans. I don't know if I should put the Raptors in there, but I'm gonna put the Raptors in there. Portland,
the Raptors are the perfect example right now. Look at what RJ Barrett. Look at the responsibility RJ Barrett has on his hands right now in Toronto. And look at the responsibility he had in New York.
Right, which I kind of didn't understand. Like, I was just like, okay, y'all drafted him because y'all felt that he was better than what's the name, and now I always knew that they was gonna trade him, but that's a scary thing, that hey, he in the NBA woman.
They wanted him to be a over 20 point a game producer that he never blossomed into.
He was a 20. No, I don't think that they wanted him to be a 20+ point per game scorer. As much as I think that they wanted him to be, a 3-and-D player that played within, Tom Thibodeau's system. And one thing I know for a fact about Tom Thibodeau's system, if you don't have like the ability to shot create on a consistent basis, unless you're a forward, that shit is not flying. Like Carlos Boozer, Julius Randle, those type of players, they can get away with being one-dimensional when it comes to scoring. When it comes to your guard play, you have to be able to create in multiple ways. Otherwise, you just don't make sense in his system. And so I think what happened was they just realized, even though he's averaging 20, it's an efficient 20, it's not conducive to what we want out of Tom Thibodeau's offense. That's why they went so hard for Jalen Brunson. That's why they went and got OG Anunoby, because OG Anunoby is I won't say a sharpshooter, but he's an effective 3-point shooter while also being a crazy athletic finisher. I won't say crazy athletic. He's an athletic finisher. And he's also yeah, I was about to say, let me not start capping on this nigga's potential. But,
you was about to overspeak her for real.
Exactly. But long story short, for the contract that RJ Barrett was going to demand, because we all know that RJ Barrett could do much more than what he did in the New York Knicks uniform, you might as well just trade him now for the value he has and get somebody that's more willing to play in the role that you have set at that position. And OG Anunoby fit that bill.
Yeah, I just hope that's something that now it makes me look at the game in a whole different way. Like, we can like what these guys come in with, but we not sitting when they telling them, nah, we don't need you to do that. And I think that's why, because I ain't really started paying close attention to basketball. I ain't even gonna cap until Lamelo kind of came in. He caught my eye for whatever reason, but it's making me notice now they just as harsh as football is. Like, you think football is harsh? Nah, basketball is harsher. They trading these younger guys faster and faster. They ain't even staying the whole 4 years anymore.
Yeah, but I'll give you I sort of got into basketball around the time you got into basketball. So I'll give you 2 examples.
Oh my God, all these puppies.
I give you 2. Oh my God, shut up, this. I'll give you 2 examples of a positive side of you being asked to have different responsibilities, right, for different teams. Tracy McGrady. He gets drafted by the Toronto Raptors. He was not looked to be much more than just a second option that was going to get limited touches in a I forget the head coach at the time. But the offense basically
wasn't it Casey?
I was going to say Dwayne Casey, but I didn't want to say. I think it was Sam Mitchell though.
Oh yes, Mitchell. That's what it was. That's right.
I was about to say. Okay. Yeah.
Mitchell. He's inside the NBA. Yeah, Mitchell.
Yeah. And so he had an offense where it was like very like, I think it was Damon Stoudemire and Vince Carter heavy. Like, it was like push the pace. But like after that, it was really like get it on your own. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with it type shit. T-Mac wanted more for himself. He gets traded to the Magic. And lo and behold, we have one of the greatest scorers of the 2000s right before our very eyes. Another example is James Harden. James Harden gets traded. He gets drafted into a position in Oklahoma City of where he needed to be a facilitator more than a scorer. So he did that. He gets traded to Houston to ask him to be a scorer more than a facilitator. He did that.
And dump your defense and dump all your defense. Don't forget to say that statement. Dump all your defense and just put it all in the offense.
Oh,
don't forget to say that statement
every time I say his name.
Man.
Yeah.
But long story short, there's some negative sides, most definitely, of you being asked to be whatever the your team needs you to be. But there's also some positive sides that really have defined a lot of people's legacies.
Definitely. But it's I'm like that. I know them guys be irritated when they be like, "What? Like I can't." Now I see why some of them are delusional though, but why a lot of them like, "Nah, I could. Did you see me in college and what I was doing? Like I could have took that to the NBA." They just, I guess most of them are afraid to like put it on the organization in the NBA. Like, nah, like I was asked to be this way.
Yeah,
This,
a lot of people had aspirations coming into the league, um, where like they thought they were going to be something more than what they actually were.
like
Whether
McCants.
it be, yeah, like McCants. That was the first name I thought of. Like you thinking that you're more talented than you actually were, or you thought that you were going to get a role that got replaced while you were in college. You know what I'm saying, for a year. Like there's different
Right.
situations that just gave people a shitty hand. Or
Mm-hmm.
you end up in a situation like Paul George. Remember when Paul George played for the Pacers? He was supposed to be a defender at the two
Yeah.
spot that played alongside Danny Granger. Danny Granger goes down
Yep.
with an ACL injury. He then taps into his potential as a scorer, and they bet the house on him. Like those things, like these things happen. You just got to go with the flow.
Yep. That's crazy, McCants though. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
McCants is
I
really.
remember when KCP got drafted to Detroit, if I remember correctly. I forgot who else they had drafted. I think they drafted somebody for his position the year before. And then when he was there for a year, I think they drafted somebody else. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with KCP? Because him coming out, I was like, okay, I like him. Like, it ain't like they giving him a shot. And then I forgot who if he did get drafted to Detroit, what team he went to after. But I remember kind of following KCP a little bit like, like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
No
'Cause
offense, you all. I'm gonna call it a night. Shout out to everybody, the chat. I'll holler at y'all.
Hey, for sure,
All
bro.
right, Gemini. Peace out.
If y'all real quick before just want to let y'all know, man, please make sure to follow Vanity Sports Debates, man. We post every Sunday. Always
got you.
tune in so you can be able to talk hoops with us and stuff.
Okay.
Things
Repeat
of
that.
that
Say that
nature.
again. Repeat
Vanity
it and go slow.
Sports. Please make sure to subscribe to Vanity Sports Debates. That is my channel. Me and my co-host, we talk basketball every Sunday. We also have other shows that are coming up, football shows if you guys like football. We also have another basketball show that's going to be something similar of like an open gym where people are allowed to come up onto the panel and talk hoops with us for a couple hours or whatnot. So yeah, just
What day
please
is
make
that?
sure to subscribe. That will probably be on Wednesdays.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, probably be on Wednesdays.
And what else did you have to on your slate?
Shoot. I got my guys are working on a football show. It's gonna be called Backyard Blitz. They're gonna be doing an off season of the NFL. I want to say starting February. Yeah, in the beginning of February, they're gonna start it.
That's after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then they're also got some my guys working on something called full court press, which is basically the open gym idea that I was just speaking about, where let everybody come in and talk hoops. We're gonna have the topic set for you guys to talk. All we ask you just come in and be ready to talk. Like don't come in hesitant. Nobody's gonna call you stupid or nothing like that. You know, just sitting there and enjoy each other's presence and things of that nature. So yeah, for sure. And then
No
we
doubt.
got the Hoops podcast every Sunday.
Every Sunday. What time?
At 7:00.
7 what?
7 p.m. 7 p.m. Definitely
No,
not
I'm
7 a.m.
No, I'm talking about 7 p.m. time zone.
Oh, Central.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you out of Chicago, right?
No, I'm over in Houston.
Oh, you in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Man, why I thought you was out of Chicago? Okay. Okay.
Wait, you
My,
said
my,
what? I didn't hear you.
I said, I thought you was out of Chicago. I don't know why I thought
No,
that.
I was born in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I
I was
know it was
born.
something related to Chicago. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was born in Chicago. I've been raised here in Houston.
Now, are you close to Humble?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in Pearland.
Maryland. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have a partner that lived in Sugar Land.
Okay. All right. So he's like 30 minutes out from me.
Yep. I know a chick that live in Humble right now. She just moved out there from California. She's a
I'm sure she
beautician.
love that. Yeah, because Humble got some nice homes.
And my boy owns a club, like a bar called Tipsy's in
What's the
Houston.
name?
Tipsy's.
Oh, damn.
It's new. It just opened up a couple of weeks ago. Just had its grand opening.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of upscale. And yeah, so if you ever happen to go by, tell them you know all access decks. You might get some free drinks.
Shoot, I might have to hit that up this weekend. My girl is coming back from Jamaica, so
And you might be able to do some of your podcasting from there. I could probably set that up for you.
hey, man, don't be playing around.
Yeah, I can set that up for you. Ain't no faking me.
No, we'll work some night. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie to you. I might take it out because me and my girl, we do a thing every weekend where we just try new places. And so like we just tried,
perfect.
we rank it on our little list of like places that we've been to as far as like worst to best.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Hold on, let me see something real quick. I'm trying to see if I can find the address. Tipsy. That'll be dope. Here we go, right here. The address is it's a lounge.
Okay.
And the address is 406 Alameda Road, Houston, Texas, 3rd Ward.
At 3rd Ward. Okay.
Are you close to
So
3rd Ward?
Yeah, it's like right off of 288.
Yeah, from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it's Tipsy's. So yeah, if you ever Tipsy's Lounge. I know the owner. You'll like it. I know you'll like it because when I look at some of the, I've never been there, but when I look at some of the pictures that he sent me, it looks really nice.
Yeah,
it looks really nice. So
sure, we're gonna be going there looking to see if they got some good music. We
they got a DJ.
Music
They got all that.
Yeah, if he play the right songs, they might end up high on the list.
Yeah, but like I said, I never been there. I just just follow him, through phone calls and everything when he come back to Cali. Because I used to go to Houston a lot, but he didn't have no club then, so he just recently owned it. But I haven't been to Houston in a couple of years. So
since what, like the pandemic?
Well, probably even before that, maybe. I think no. I've been since the pandemic. No, I take that back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the last time I've been to Houston was probably like 2021. Been in the area. Yeah, so he built up a really nice lounge. And anybody that's out here in Flight Sports TV streets, if you're in the Houston area, please stop by Tipsy's. Right off of Alameda in the 3rd Ward. Go stop in. Tell me you know that. Tell me you know Dex. You might get a free drink. I'm not saying it's gonna be a Moscow Mule, but it'll be a free drink.
You crazy. The Moscow Mule is crazy. And the last time I
You
had,
like
I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, the last time I had a Moscow Mule, I ain't gonna lie to you. I woke up and my head, I ain't had no headache, but I was stumbling all over the place.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a lightweight, bro.
Oh, okay.
I
I
am a
mean, I really don't.
lightweight.
I had a Moscow Mule, but I'm not a drinker. I think I just
Ah,
had one because the person I was with suggested it.
mhm.
Because she was drinking, I don't drink, and to make her feel more comfortable, because I'm like, damn, you acting like a preacher in here. So,
You like shit.
I,
I'll go ahead and do
yeah,
it.
exactly. I go ahead and get a Moscow Mule. I was just eating the peanuts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
Nah.
yeah. But yeah,
See,
if you
I'm the shit talker. I'm the shit talker. So I'll be like, shit, I'm gonna go ahead and uh uh give me a Crown and Coke or something. Knowing
hmm
my ass can't handle that.
right. Yeah.
And
So yeah,
I
check
end
it
up
out,
getting
man.
like
Put
2
that on
shots
your
of it.
list though, casual.
I got you. I'm gonna put it on right now. It's Tipsy's.
Uh-huh. Oh, you want the address again?
No. I'm just gonna put in the name. I can look it up on Google Maps.
Yeah. Tipsies.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm finna shut it down, man. I gotta go to work in the morning, so I
All
don't
right,
know
brother.
what Flight want to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Well, you know him. He gonna cut it off after he finally wake up from his nap.
So salute everybody. Thank you for riding out with us at Flight Sports TV. But I'm going to chime out.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Freeway Ricky Ross, and you looking at Flight Sports TV. Don't turn that channel.
Well, let me chime out.